Thank you.
Okuba musinguzi oine kuba stede nkataiga. Konga kori gura mashitana MTN momo okusingura kworobi. Kozesa momo app ningashi imata star emwe mukagitano star ishatu hash. Teka mu merchant code, teka mu muhendo gwesente, teka mu momo pin oshashuri. Congratulations. Emotoka yawe shemerirwe kandi watunga omugisha gwo kusingura mobile money na MTN momo.
With our NCBA Bank Home Loan, we can finance up to 80% of your mortgage and give you a repayment period of up to 25 years.
Daddy, that is 25 birthdays for me in our own home. Many suppers together. Lots of laughter with mommy.
We know that it's not about the house, but the many memories made in it. Get an NCBA home loan with up to 80% financing. The name is NCBA, and the numbers that matter to you matter to us. NCBA Bank. Go for it.
In a digital world, not everything is what it seems. False stories today spread faster than truth, leaving us all wondering what's real. Disinformation misleads, misinformation misguides and spreads confusion and fear. Dismiss, a campaign to help you think critically, question wisely, and verify thoroughly. Join us. Let's build a more informed Uganda, one truth at a time. Dismiss, inquire, verify, confirm. Together, let's fight fake news.
In line with Uganda's digitalization strategy, the Uganda Printing and Publishing Corporation is pleased to introduce its new UPPC service portal, an online one-stop center for all your printing, publishing, and gazetting needs. To access the UPPC service portal, simply visit www.uppc.go.ug and click on UPPC Service Portal tab. To create a new account, click on Register a New Account. Fill in your details, review and accept the terms and conditions, and submit. You will receive a confirmation email to verify your registration. Log into your new account using your credentials. To subscribe to our services, click on Subscribe Now to access our services. Fill in your details, select your preferred payment option, mobile money or Visa. Enter your card or mobile payment details. Submit and wait for a notification to complete the transaction via SMS. To access e-Gazette services, click on e-Gazette. Select the volume of your choice. To place a notice or advert, click Apply Now under Apply for Ads. Choose your preferred category and select payment options. Submit and wait for a notification via SMS to enter your PIN. To purchase any of your publications, browse through our products by clicking on View More. Fill out the payment options form. Click Buy and confirm payment. Your product download will be ready. For any assistance, email info@uppc.go.ug or send a WhatsApp to 0783 914 332.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 8th annual CFO Gala Awards dinner. I did say good evening. I didn't hear any responses. I am not sure if everyone is deaf, mute, or suffering from the effects of the downpour this evening. Allow me to go once again. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. That's a little better. Of course, it has to be Sanjay being the loudest. You're very welcome. I'm sorry, I'm going to be extremely off the cuff today because we're here to celebrate. I know that the majority of the people in this room are used to crunching numbers and being very serious today. You get to let loose just a little bit as we celebrate yet another year of a lot of hard work. My name is Ben Mwine, and my job is simply to make sure our evening is short and sweet and extremely exciting. And to do that, we're going to be doing a number of things, including enjoying a wonderful meal together, having some wonderful entertainment from a lovely band that you have sampled called Ivuga Band, but also recognizing our peers who have excelled in particular areas over the last year or so. Our theme this year is that we're pushing boundaries as we explore the growth mindset. And as you can imagine, for those of you who were with us last year, we have moved to a bigger place, a posher place. We are already growing. And because of that, I am also going to request our chief guest to allow me to remove the deputy title from his title because we want to prophesy and believe that it will not be acting for very long. So you will allow me to call you governor for today, as by the powers entrusted to me by the Holy Spirit, because we are pursuing the growth mindset. So please welcome with me the acting, for now, governor of the Bank of Uganda, Michael Atingigo, who is with us today, and we'll be hearing from him and looking forward to that. I can call him governor. If you guys don't want, those are yours. We are prophesying. We'll also have a wonderful keynote from someone who's been a seasoned professional for a very long time, one of the people that I look forward to hearing from because he's been a role model for me for a very long time, and we'll hear from him in just a bit. In the meantime, allow me to welcome you officially on behalf of ACCA and Deloitte and our partners who have made today possible. And we have MTN Uganda who have made this evening possible. Uganda Airlines, courtesy of whom some of you are going to get an opportunity to win an all-expense-paid trip to go to any destination that Uganda Airlines flies to at the end of this evening today. So in case we haven't collected your business card, make sure we do that. We have some balls. I'm hoping that everyone registered because by the end of this evening, we have a whole bunch of air tickets that are going to be up for grabs randomly, and we'll let you know how we will do that. I want to say a big thank you, of course, to Bank of Uganda as well for being our key partners for this year. The Uganda Printing and Publishers Corporation, UPPC, who for a very long time seemed like they were almost as if going like this, but now they are one of the most switched on government agencies in this country, and I want to applaud them very much for staying relevant and alive even in the times that we are in. I want to say a big thank you to NCBA Bank, who are with us today as well and have been our big partners, plus Osela Technologies, CEO East Africa Magazine, and NBS Television, where I happen to be proud to serve as head of group radios for Next Media. So without further ado, allow me to welcome the country manager for ACCA, Ms. Charlotte Kukunda, to come and get our evening rolling. Please give her a big, big hand clap as she comes to get us started.
Thank you, Ben. It's exciting and humbling hosting all of you this evening. And for that, if I speak for more time than I'd planned to, understand, please. And for managing your expectations, we had promised that we'll be out of here by 10. But it's quite a heavy program, and bear with me, you've come relatively 30 minutes late, so we are bound to stretch it a little bit, but trust Ben, he'll make sure we leave here by 10. So our chief guest, Mike Atingego, I'm not the prophet, so Deputy Governor, Bank of Uganda. Our keynote speaker this evening, Becca Magunda, the chairman of the board of Stanbic Holdings Uganda Limited. Paul Sully, the country managing partner of Deloitte and the partner of ACCA on this journey. Our lead judge, CEO Stanchat, Sanjay Rugani, and an advocate of ACCA globally. George Jato, the MNP chairperson, together with your team of members who volunteer, past and present. Our online community, I hope they are following. Ben, I didn't hear you mention them. I hope that link has been enabled for them to be part of this evening. We apologize for starting late. We couldn't manage it earlier. Sponsors of the CFO 2024. The CFO 2024 nominees, past participants and winners. Let me mention the sponsors. MTN Uganda, Bank of Uganda, Osela Technologies, UPPC, NCBA Bank, the CEO Magazine and NBS Television, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. The list is quite long, simply because you made it happen. A very warm welcome and good evening. While all guests are notable, allow me to acknowledge the presence of Josephine Osela in her capacity as the president of ICPAU, Keto Kayemba in her capacity as the president of the Pan-Africa Federation of Accountants. She's also served as a judge before. We're expecting Dr. Fickson Akonye, the Internal Auditor General in the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, for graciously being present today. We acknowledge your presence and we are happy. To you ladies and gentlemen who have graced the evening, rain, traffic jam, some people are still stuck around this complex. Thank you so much for valuing us, for prioritizing us and giving us your valuable time this evening. You had other things to do, surely. It's a Thursday, tomorrow is a working day. But you've chosen to be here, and we are so grateful. I'd like to acknowledge my team at ACCA Uganda. For some of you must have braved a lady called Dorothy. She calls you, she emails you, she follows you up, and she sort of whispers. So she's been really behind a lot of this mobilization. So we acknowledge her effort. And the other partner coordinator, Rashida, who must have been in your offices trying to get certain things done. I acknowledge them for putting this together. We are not that much of a big team. So thank you very much. And let me just get into the context of this evening. I warned you earlier. The CFO 2024 Awards is the 8th edition. You might have already seen that. But it's also a celebration of success and growth from where we sit. Just to relate to the theme for this year, pushing boundaries and exploring the growth mindset. When we partnered with Deloitte in 2017, we had a vision, but we did not really see this within the next 8 years happening this way. And I would like to acknowledge that 8 years down the road, we've achieved all that we set out to do, and now we are creating reasons to continue this. So we've raised the profile of this role and the function within organizations and businesses. We continue to highlight the good business and finance practices that they've deployed to create more sustainable outcomes for their businesses. It has attained scale and spin-offs. You've seen a couple of CFO engagements, at a regional level, but for ACCA it was taken to Africa. So for us, that is growth and scaling up. Interestingly, when we launched Africa, it was being picked from Uganda, but last year, Uganda CFOs took half of the awards at the regional scale, and for us, that was an attestation to what we've been doing so well here. So well done for those who participate. You make us look good, but beyond that, you get yourselves to a regional and global profiling level. I would like to acknowledge that we've had winners who have aspired for bigger things, and they've been emboldened through recognition and professional profiling. So that is an attestation to this, this particular initiative. So while we celebrate the winners, I would like to give you a little bit of what has already happened. In the last 7 years, 38 professionals have won 55 awards. 29% of these professionals were ladies or women, and 27 of the awards were taken by females. So the professionals is different from the number of awards. Ladies, I thought you would clap. We have 2 female presidents in the room, and you know, the reason I say this, because when we are promoting, we keep getting this question, what are you doing to encourage women? What are you doing to encourage women? These ladies are doing so well. And we continue to see growth. It might be slow and gradual, but we are really taking you at a rate that you need to worry, the gentlemen. We celebrate the winners because you've also validated our research that showed how much this role had evolved. I would like also to speak to what we are noticing in the trends. We've acknowledged that 36% of these awards are taken by the banking industry. So what does that say to the others? Our chief guest, probably that's the reason why we invited you. Because it is not only probably well regulated, but it is very competitive. And in the past, the audit firms used to tell us the bankers poach from them, now it's the other way around. They are poaching from the banking industry. So well done in capacity building and developing talent. As ACCA Uganda, we are proud that when we showcase this talent, it's actually being realized and taken beyond the borders. Since 2017, we've also grown in terms of interest and participation. 22 professionals then participated with 60 nominations, 61, but now we had 380 nominations with 60 professionals. So while the number has grown, we want to be cognizant of the fact that we need quality nominations. So I would like to take this opportunity to appreciate you so much, the ones who nominate, because you take time to put together something good. And also those who allow themselves to be subjected to this process. We acknowledge you, and if you don't win tonight, at least be happy that you were nominated. Some of you are shortlisted, you came for the interviews, it was grueling, but you achieved something. You put yourself out there. I would also like to just acknowledge the other sectors that are upcoming, because you know all these categories, I will not go into them. The details of what has happened will be shared by the lead judge. But we've seen a fair share of the corporate sector, public sector, and SME. Over time, the SME has grown to match up. And then we are still struggling with a not-for-profit in terms of the level of nominations coming through, but we hope for the best. And we've definitely grown to 10 categories to help generate as many people participating as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow is the deadline for Africa, the CFO Africa Awards ACCA. So for those who feel I can still make it, please go ahead. Would like to profile Uganda to the best of our ability. But that said, ACCA Uganda is hosting the Uganda Members Convention in November. I'll short-charge myself if I leave without talking about it. Some have already booked. Please be there. It's a thought leadership, but also thought-provoking. Come and let's build together, resolve problems together. To be on the 13th to the 15th November at the Speak Resort, Munyonyo. So when we launched on the 29th of July, we also renewed our MOU with Deloitte, Uganda. And for that, I would like to say thank you again, Paul, for making this happen, because without partners, it's really hard to make this happen. And as I wind up, I would like to acknowledge all the table sponsors. You are many. You are many, but you made it happen. You didn't only pay, but you went ahead and rallied your teams to come and be there when other people are being celebrated or when some individuals are being celebrated. This sees as being a personal award. It almost takes on the shape of a team award because you succeed with the others. And for the focus of talent development this year, we appreciate that you've taken that initiative to get your teams and teammates here. To all those that will emerge winners tonight, we celebrate you, and please expose yourself to whatever we ask you to do, because we are going to make you get out of your shell and be in all these interviews and speak and inspire and motivate. That is what you get for winning. You're lucky this year you're getting air tickets, courtesy of Uganda Airlines, but we hope that something else will be cooking. As a result, we have a community of CFOs which meets quarterly. So be part of that. If you're an aspiring or already a CFO, kindly be part of that. Just inform us if you're interested, and we'll make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here tonight and giving us the value that you've given us by showing up. Good evening.
A very big hand clap to Charlotte. And you didn't use up that much time. Thank you very much. And without wasting time, allow me then to welcome now the country managing partner for Deloitte, Mr. Paul Sally, who I learned today about the difference between FCCA and ACCA, and it has inspired me to go and start also now, so I can start at ACCA before I also graduate to be like you, sir. Please welcome our country managing partner for Deloitte, Mr. Sally.
Right. Thank you very much, Ben. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for showing up today. I can see that the rain has not stopped you. And I think this is a vote of confidence in these awards and the process that leads to the awards. Now, I know Charlotte has already recognized them, but please allow me to resend a special welcome and recognition to our chief guest, Dr. Michael Atingego, the Deputy Governor of the Central Bank. Our keynote speaker, Mr. Becca Magunda, the Chair Stanbic, but also a well-respected business leader, even beyond our borders. Our two presidents, we have two presidents in the room, ICPAU and PAFA. We're very honored to have you here today. Our nominees for the CFO Awards, thank you for coming up to be evaluated, to be interviewed. You're the reason that we're here to celebrate today and welcome you once again. And then to our esteemed judges. If you know our judges, they're all very high-profile people, which means they're also very, very busy. They have very busy schedules, but they dedicate a lot of time to this process. I recall on the day of the interviews, they were in the room by 7:30 a.m., and the process went on all the way to 8:30 p.m., but they went through the entire day. We thank you for your commitment to growing the finance profession in this country. Now, Charlotte has spoken eloquently about the awards, and she's hinted on the theme for this year, which is pushing boundaries, exploring a growth mindset. Now, we couldn't have come up with a better theme for this year, given the pace of change and the uncertainties that businesses are going through. We've always had change, but the pace of change this season is really unprecedented. And it requires everyone to move out of their comfort zone, to push those boundaries. Finance leaders especially will be required to actually provide leadership on these emerging issues that are coming up. So this is why we have this theme, and it also informs part of the categories that we have in these awards this year. Now, as Charlotte has hinted, we do have more programs beyond the CFO Awards as part of the entire CFO program. She's talked about the quarterly CFO network forums, and these are aimed at bringing together CFOs to share ideas, to share insights, but also to discuss topical issues that are affecting businesses. And I implore all the CFOs out there to take advantage of these growth and learning spaces to be mentored as well. So with that, I want to welcome you once again to these awards, and also wish you a very nice evening as we celebrate our outstanding performers for this year. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Paul. I'd budgeted about 10 more minutes for you, so thank you for cutting some of the time that we had planned for the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to hear our keynote, and this is coming, as has been mentioned by both Charlotte and Mr. Sally, from someone who I'm sure we are all very familiar with. I remember when I was growing up, getting into my career as a young media personality, as a business leader at the time, just trying to start out, you always looked for people that you wanted to aspire to be like. And our keynote speaker was one of those people who always conducted himself so well that he exuded confidence and class without asking for attention. I remember the thing that caught me the most about him in particular was that he always wore really expensive shoes. And I'm looking forward to seeing what shoes he's wearing today. Because, for us men, there are small things that usually will get your attention. So he always wore, you could just tell from the look of the shoe that shoe was about a year's worth of your rent. And those are things that become really, really aspirational. He's spent the better part of maybe 25, going on to 30 years as a manager. He is a leader of leaders. You've heard that he's serving as the chair of the board at Sandvik Holdings Uganda Limited, but also happens to be managing director at Diageo, not just for Ethiopia, but also the Indian Ocean. He will explain why it's the ocean and not a continent. But please welcome with me to the 2024 CFO Awards, Mr. Becca Magunda, as he comes to deliver our keynote.
Good evening, friends. Good evening. Is this working? Okay. Thank you for inviting me to speak to you. As you'll have guessed, I'm not an accountant. I hope this is working. It's coming on and off, right? I'm not an accountant, but I'm excited. I bring you greetings from the Blue Team at Stanbic. We thank you for everything that you do, and obviously the contribution that you make to the industry. When Charlotte called me and asked me to come and speak to you, I felt a bit challenged. But the topic was exciting, and I accepted to come and share my thoughts with you. I've got some slides just to hold our thoughts, and I'm hoping that I'll use possibly 20 minutes or so to go through what I think this question means. So when I was asked to come and speak to the forum today about pushing boundaries, the growth mindset, I think the best place to start is by trying to define the keywords in this question. What is boundaries? What is growth? And what is mindset? And then we go through that very quickly to see how all of them will work together. This is coming on and off. Hello? Can you hear me with this? Apparently it's got its own apparently it's got its own mindset.
You just want to use this instead?
Okay. So my reflection of this is, obviously when we come in a forum like this, it's an opportunity for us to reflect on ourselves as leaders, all right? The jobs we do every day are intense, looking after the organizations that we lead, and possibly for some of us who serve in society or communities, ensuring that what we do in community is also going well. But what that does is to ask the question, are you giving yourself enough time to think about yourself, introspect, challenge yourself, and stretch yourself for further growth? It's interesting that we've just heard that the best performing CFOs are coming from the banking industry. When you look at the best performing sector in Uganda at the moment, I think it's the financial institutions, isn't it? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think the financial institution is the best performing sector. Therefore, by the end of my few slides, we will have made a correlation between personal growth, organizational performance, and team growth. So I'm really excited that this is bearing witness to what I wanted to share with you today. I think boundary has got two things, right? One is a line which marks limits, and I think number two, a limit of something abstract, especially a subject or sphere of activity. And that's, for me, is where I think we need to start. As a chief financing officer, what are these abstract boundaries and how do you recognize them and develop the muscle to deal with them, all right? We then come and ask the question, what is growth? It is this process of increasing amount, importance, and value. For purposes of today's evening, I think the question of volume has been answered by the former speaker, saying more people are coming into the profession. That is volume. But I think at an individual level, let's deal with the two, importance and value. And when you're dealing with these two subjects, is to extract yourself from the question and say, when importance and value shows up as a bigger leader, where does that show up? It stops being for yourself, it starts being for the community, for the organization, for the team, for the people. We then go on and ask the other question to say, now that we know boundaries and we know what is mindset, is the established set of attitudes held by someone. And I think the operating words are established set of attitudes, all right? This is important because every time you challenge yourself to go on a growth journey, the most difficult thing is to catch your established attitudes. We grow up with these things. They become a norm. They become part of us. They almost become cultural. They become so true. But we'll come to that. This is slower than I want it to be. Growth mindset, therefore, when you bring the two things together, is having a growth mindset means believing that a person's abilities are not innate, but can be improved through effort, learning, and persistence. This is important because many of us, when we come into the roles we do, the professions we do, somebody was introducing me here now and said, oh, this man has been working for this thing for 25 years. It is a marathon. So if you're clear on the destination you want to get to, if you establish yourself the biggest possible possibility for yourself, freeze time. Let time not matter. Because one of the biggest distractors for personal growth is the impatience of time. It has been 3 years. It's been 4 years. I'm not getting this promotion. You switch jobs. You move roles. So the word persistence and effort is very important. And effort is personal. Persistence is also an attitude. All right? A growth mindset is all about attitude, as we saw, which a person faces, the challenges they go through, how they process failures. The biggest source of growth for all of us, as we always hear, is when you fail. When you're so successful that you've never confronted failure, it's unlikely that you've really got an opportunity for growth, okay? And how you adapt and evolve as a result of that. So as we process through this question of pushing boundaries and sustaining a growth mindset is just to know that you should be okay with failing. In many of the communities we come from, many of the businesses we work for, failing is a death nail. Therefore, it is scary because it's only people who are trying something new that usually fail, isn't it? But to be okay with the idea that as part of growth I'm going to fail sometimes, it's something that requires to challenge yourself and be reflective on what attitude you hold towards these things. I will then be talking about, now that we've been guided by those definitions, pushing boundaries, what exactly is this? For me, pushing boundaries means for me establishing possibility and quitting reality. And I will just take a minute to explain this. What is possible gives you freedom because it does not exist. So the day you think about, I am currently chief finance officer of maybe a medium-sized company. I want to be the governor of the central bank one day. That is a possibility you're painting for yourself. It gives you a liberation, a freedom, because it does not exist for you yet. Nobody is going to judge you for being a governor of the central bank that you've not yet become. But what it does for you, it allows you to work every day to establish the milestones that you need. It allows you to be okay with failing and actually to deal with fluidity. Because the most unconcerning things for senior people like yourselves is not to feel that you're in control. Things are stable. You know where everything is. The growth path means that every day there's something new and there's something unconcerning that you have to learn. The good news is that growth mindset also means you establish a new belief system. And the belief is always a conflict that happens between what is true. Oh, short people could never become CEOs. If you believe that, you give up. Because for some of us who are not very endowed, we would have given up. Or if you don't go to Oxford Business School, you can never be governor of the central bank, all right? And so on and so on, if you don't come from that religion or from that region. The growth mindset is asking us that you need to challenge and give up and establish your own belief system. And in many of the organizations that we work, there are all kinds of drift in the corridor. If you're not from the chairman's area, you will never be this. If you're not from that, you'll never be this. You have to establish your own belief system, all right? And once you have done that, for me, is then saying to you, oh, now that it's possible for me to be governor of the central bank one day, what does this take? It's being inquisitive, being future-minded, being unlimited. And I think the most powerful word on this slide for me is be unlimited. Because many times we limit ourselves by, like you just said, I'm the biggest CEO in Uganda. Uganda is such a small place. Or I'm the biggest CEO in the region. The region is such a small place. I'm the best in Africa. Oh boy, it's less than 2% of the global economy. How do you unlimit yourself and be okay with it? To fail is okay and be okay with that. So I think the most operating things here is the growth mindset only exists for people who do the two things together. Set an ambitious possibility for yourself and establish a new belief system for yourself. All right? And that will always show up. Okay. This word fluid is very important. It comes up many times every time I speak to leaders. How do I become okay when things are just not stable? They are gray. They are not defined. That's actually where growth exists. If all of us remember, when we were still little kids, 8 or so years, in primary school, every time the teacher asks the question, all of you, your hands go up, isn't it? Because you're unlimited. You don't feel embarrassed whether you're going to give a wrong question or not. By the time you come to your postgraduate, or when a professor asks the question, he's almost having to call people by names. Because we've now developed a system which believes, like, if I have not given the right answer, I'm going to embarrass myself. I'm less equal to the other people in the room, all right? And we shall come back to the connection of growth and learning, all right? So the final thing to say here before we move to the next section is belief is about accumulated influences, all right? If you always remember and remind yourself, whatever you believe is an influence that you've accumulated over time. You go to Sunday and pray. You take Holy Communion from the cardinal. You've grown up with it and you believe it. You don't know the world of those who exist without doing that until you ask the question, is it possible that I can do something really, really different and become a different person from what I am now? So this whole idea of formed reality is the degree to which you relate with what is real in your world, what is fact. I hear all these things to say, oh, the facts here are, if you're not from the chairman's religion, you'll never be this. That becomes a fact for you, right? And you can look around the institutions in the country and actually you end up saying, oh my, it's so true. The FC of that is from that. You almost make your own reality become true. And yet, actually, what you need is to challenge and say, all of that is F. It's not true. I can be different, okay? And I'll give some examples and some personal relationships, some of these things. The final thing to say on this is expectations. The expectations you hold of yourselves must be personal, but they have to be expressed. All right? What does that mean? Anything to happen to us in life, it happens at two levels. First, mentally, and then it becomes real because you've done something about it. If you want to become the best possible CFO, it has to be true to you but you have to express it to somebody. That person might be your line manager, might be your mentor, might be whatever. It might be your coach. So managing the expectations and expressing that, you need to do that early as you push the boundaries like we're being asked to do. Therefore, I guess the question here is, how do leaders then develop the growth mindset muscle? It's a muscle. It is a muscle, and you have to exercise it every time. So let's just go through quickly how that shows up for leaders. I want to persuade you tonight that this all starts with how you think about your own growth journey. All right? And I will tell my personal story. You know, obviously, grew up in a big family, limited resources. On the other side of Uganda, across the Nile, I didn't go to Budo, maybe I didn't go to Savio at the time, or I didn't go to those schools. I ended up in Makerere University, and I did not go to Harvard or London Business School. But I told myself that I'll be the best possible version of myself. And in doing that, I sourced my power, or my superpower, by just observing simple people around me and saying, how is that farmer so successful when everybody else is failing? And by just examining that, you begin to pull through what they're doing different. So the first MD job I did at Uganda Breweries, I was the first Ugandan to be MD for that brewery. And every time I moved around town, everybody was, oh, it's a big deal. I'm saying, it's not a big deal, it's a small brewery. It's a big deal in Uganda, but it's a small brewery. So I refused to be caught. I was very young. I was not even 35. They gave us all these cars with personalized number plates. You could be caught up in believing that this is it. But refusing to be caught up by where you are and just accepting that this is the first step in a long journey that you want to go through. So the outcomes of our actions are actually governed by how you think about it. I genuinely do believe that if I had thought at that time that being MD of Uganda Brewery was such a big deal, I think that would have been it. Maybe I would have served that job for I don't know how many years, and that's it. I would have retired in Uganda, missed the experiences that I went through. But I refused to catch that. I was in the job for 2.5 years, moved on, and everybody, oh yeah, our only Ugandan. I'm like, there will be many other Ugandans to come, right? The good news is that since then, there have been many other Ugandans to do the job, and we will connect that. For you to grow, you have to grow your team. For your team to grow, your organization has to grow. Because it's only by doing more complex and bigger roles that all of us become better. So never fool yourself that you can grow in a small team of mediocres, of a poorly performing industry. You cannot. That's why I'm excited that many of the CFOs are coming from the financial institutions. And that is showing up by how financial institutions are doing versus other sectors. So whatever you choose to do, the biggest muscle you have to develop is to remain in control or to access how you think. Our thinking process governs what we believe. What we believe governs what we do. What we do governs the outcomes of those actions. So until you can access, how am I thinking about this? And it has to be really personal, it has to be discomforting, it has to be stretched. Think about the biggest possible possibility. I think that's the story I would like to leave you this evening, right? So this idea of boundaries, where we started, it sounds like something is holding you up, isn't it? And yet, what we need here is to remove those and feel truly unlimited. To feel unlimited, by the way, it takes time. It takes time. There are many fears. If I move from this job and go to Kenya, it's bigger. Kenya is aggressive. I might fail. I might be fired. I will not be famous. I will not be the guy who is invited at the dinner parties. I might not be. So some of the things that hold us back are so unreal and it's so true. I've seen many people turn down opportunities for assignment to other countries. Oh, no, I can't go to Nigeria. Oh, I hear those people eat snails. What the heck? What the heck? Oh, I can't go there. I hear those people still eat snakes. The things that limit us sound stupid, but they are so true for all of us. Why? Because we would like things that make us feel in control, feel important, and it's about us, all right?
I don't have too long to go. I can see. So, growth exists in the realm of possibility. If there's one thing I want to leave you with you this evening, growth possibility only exists in the realm of possibility. So every time you are doing a job, ask the question, what is the next possibility for me? And for you senior people, always remind yourself, whatever it is you're doing, it sounds stupid, but it's true. We deliver that through people, teams, and organizations. Remind yourself again and again, I will never grow if I'm working with mediocres. I'll never grow if I'm working with a non-performing team. I can never grow if my organization is not growing. And that's the connection to how performance becomes the fuel for your own possibility, all right? Because this is just not for fun. Somebody is paying you salary every day. They've contracted you. So you need to be able to connect your growth ambitions with what the organization is achieving. So they tend to conflict dealing with big possibilities and the reality of the day, especially for the chief finance officers. You want predictability, don't you? You want to feel that things are predictable. This is a sleeping pill, as I call it. It's an antidote, actually. The day you feel okay with predictable, I know where we're going, I feel in control. I turn up in the room, everybody keeps quiet because I'm the source of knowledge. I'm the fountain of knowledge. Something should tell you as you're driving home, I'm at the limit of this team. I need a new challenge. And you have to feel it. If you can't, you will not seek the help that you need. You have to be intentional. You have to be intentional. So, as great CEOs, what do I know you guys do every day? You frame strategy, right? And the strategy is about possibility, isn't it? And in that process alone, if you are able to think about the process you go through for your organization, apply it to yourself. The tools are exactly the same. Because every organization that is successful starts by asking the question, what is my purpose? Why do we exist? You know, some would tell you Stanbic exists to fuel Uganda's growth, right? What do you exist for? We never say at the bank, where I am associated with, that we want to make more money, we want to be the biggest bank. No. Our purpose for existence is to fuel Uganda's growth. What is your own purpose? You have to frame that. Orchestrating performance. The same tools you use to manage performance, if you've set out a roadmap for yourself, you need to use exactly those for your own personal growth. So it's a lot that you guys do every day. So the question then becomes, how do I, amidst all this chaos, find vectors for growth, all right? So the question to ponder is, where are the sources of growth? Where does growth happen for me? On the job, 70% of all growth happens on the job you do. 20%, maybe some interventions, seminars and things like that. 10%, formal training. But 70% of growth, research done for decades, happens on the job. Therefore, your biggest teacher actually is the job that you have and your line manager. So creating the right balanced relationship between the role you do and the role that plays for your personal growth and your line manager is a very, very important thing to do. So that's a point sometimes we forget because we are looking for some other place to grow. Growth actually happens on the job that you do today. You have to make it more important. Remember one of the definitions, more valuable. That's number one. Number two is through people. Successful teams, successful organizations, that's where growth comes from. And it has to be intentional. I think those are the combinations that you need to bring this. So, although the broader definition talks about volume, importance, and value, I think as you're reflecting on this, on the growth matrix, really focus on value and importance, all right? So if you interrogate these two, it invariably asks the question then, how does my growth show up in value? And how does my growth show up in importance? Those are the two things that would have to show up. Performance has been spoken about. As a finance operator, your performance in the organization that you orchestrate has to be showing through. If it's not showing through, it's difficult. Your team members, how many team members have been promoted? They've gone for international assignment. That is another measure for growth for yourself. The influence you are having on community around you, that doesn't work with you every day. That becomes another, how value shows up. So it's about being bigger, better, and more impactful. Okay, so the combinations there have led us to now come to this point where we're saying, if I'm increasing my own value and my importance, and this is how it's going to show up, what has to be true is the culture in your organization. And you have to be the biggest orchestra in creating the learning culture. Growth only happens where there is learning. And learning happens where the culture in the organization allows people to explore, experiment, fail, and not be punished for it. It sounds, oh yeah, we've had that before. But it is orchestrated by the most intentional people in the teams that want to grow that demonstrate these things to most influence the culture to exist. Because we always talk about culture as if it exists in the air. No, it doesn't. It exists in the individuals who form the teams that we work with, right? So you have a pivotal role in shaping the learning culture in your team, your organization, as the fuel that you need to give you your own growth potential and opportunity. So, to build this, I'm not a scholar on this, but it emerges and exists in your immediate team and organization. And if you're a CFO, you're likely to be the number one or number two most important person in the organization. It has to be you to ensure that the learning culture that you need exists. Oftentimes when I speak to CEOs and finance officers, it's the board. We have this nature of pushing things up to somebody else. You know, before I started doing what I'm doing as chairman of the board, maybe I was doing the same, because every time I couldn't deal with something, or there's something that wasn't desirable, there's somebody up here. It's your regional president, it's your chairman, it is somebody else. No. I think for you to truly unleash this, you need to own the culture that exists, and that has to be the growth culture. What help can you seek to accelerate growth? I've mentioned line manager, coach, mentor, formal training opportunities like executive courses. We know that, all right? That is not new news, all right? The most important, however, is the line manager. Relationship that you have with the line manager, 10 out of 10, has to be the intention. Meaning there's nothing between you. 10 out of 10 also means that your line manager, when something looks obvious, remind yourself there's something you don't know yet. So in that question, you and the line manager being 10 out of is important because you want them to see your hustle. You want them to feel your ambition. And let their ambition and your ambition not be threatening to each other. The reason being that you might want to be going that way, and your line manager believes that anybody who is ambitious here is going to overthrow me. So being 10 out of 10 is to say, actually help me to get out of the team and go somewhere else so that he can remain the little boss in whatever he's doing now or she is doing now, all right? So what growth vectors exist for CFOs? I think there are many and they're obvious. Vertical, yeah, you can become better by becoming an expert, and you guys know all this stuff, right? Scaling up within function, doing more complex things, we know that. Career path change into another function. But there's something we call the Christmas tree. If you ever think about your growth, it is never going to be a straight line. Think about a Christmas tree. When you switch on the lights, they don't go that way. The lights, for some reason, they go that way. Be prepared to grow like a Christmas tree light. Meaning, there are 3 ways you can do that. One is, go and do the projects other people don't like. What that does is you will be noticed in the organization. Every time I'm in a talent conversation, the question, after all is done and said, is, what makes her different? What makes him different? So you need to look for those things. And my final slide, I think, talks about talent being a craft. So you have to be very intentional in what are you crafting. That's very important. So vertical growth is one of the most limiting and most annoying because it becomes like a mirage. Every time you think your chief finance officer is going to go away, they don't. You think the MD is going to be changed, he doesn't, the contract is extended. Vertical growth can be very, very frustrating. So I think always remind yourself, growth does not exist by me doing the immediate next job, ahead of me. Okay, cool. So if you then think about it that way, you at a point where you're saying, am I clear on what I'm chasing this growth for? Are you clear what you're chasing this growth for? Because it takes humility. It takes humility. We are all not made to be managing directors. We are not all made to be presidents of something. We are not. But you have to come to that conclusion with help from your mentors, your coaches, your line managers to say, you know what, Becca, you're very good at this stuff, but you can never be this. And that's okay conversation. But many times people have been called up and said, come and do interview for MD. We are considering for appointment of MD. Oh, of course. Not everybody is going to be that. And not being that does not mean that you can be big, impactful, important, valuable. So this frustration of my next job is not opening up is a trap that costs lots of careers from exploring their full potentials, all right? So it's about being authentic and having sharp self-awareness, all right? So for you to truly connect to the biggest possible possibility of yourself, your purpose must stop being about yourself. It has to be about the other people, the society, the organization. When you do that, they will send you to many missions and you feel the growth coming through for you because this is not about you. It is about what importance am I expanding for those people and what value am I creating. So we have to cultivate in us and be driven by a mission bigger than self. And I hope I've taken it in order from how you think, how you act, believe, the need for connecting to team, dealing with myths and norms, and the need to understand where will growth come from. But I think in this final session for me is to say it has to be bigger than self. It is only when it is bigger than self that it truly, truly becomes inspiring and will push you enough, okay? We must always remind ourselves that there are two or more significant elements of growth, all right? So importance and value, but it is a thoughtful craft. There are many chief finance officers in this city. There are many chief finance officers in Africa. What makes you different? You have to wire it. I'm so good at investments, or am I good at strategy? You have to craft it intentionally. Because any profession you do these days is such a wide profession, all right, that you cannot be a master of. So you have to be truly, truly well crafted in what you're trying to. So it has to be thoughtful in the article that you become. And I'm using the article that you become, all right? Your importance and value manifests in your impact on authentic human relationships. Nobody I know has grown when they had a bad line manager. Nobody I know has grown when the HR director was not their cheerleader. Oh, there's a role here at the regional office. Can you put in your CV? Oh, I was in this session. We are looking for somebody. Do you think you have to have authentic human relations in organization for growth to manifest? For people who believe this is just me working hard and being smart and being the smartest cookie in the room, it's done for you. It's done for you. It is about having really authentic human relations in your team, your organization. That is the support structure that you need to support you. I'm about finished. So, I like this. Stay humble. You know these titles we are given in cities, eh? Oh, Chief Executive Officer. chief finance officer. It is like the thing will not exist when you are dead tomorrow. Be humble. There are two types of leaders, the creepers and the climbers. Be a creeper, meaning treasure and keep every relationship as you climb. Like Lakdube says, because when you're falling, they are the same people who will catch you. I'm not saying you'll fall one day, but you might. And when you do, that's when the stairs are gone. Stay humble. Enduring growth demands that you remain humble, you are grounded, you must be generous to others. I don't want to sound spiritual here. Good things do not come to mean people. They don't. It is a good heart, a giving hand, that gets more. So, being humble is good, it's not enough. Being grounded is not enough. You have to be generous. For those who read Peter Drucker, there is a theory of leading with humility. And one of the things he explores is generosity. Are you generous to your team? Because the chief finance officers, when the bonus time comes and he looks and says, this Kabeka is also going to get 2 multiple, remove. It's not your money. If the guy has earned it, you should be the first person to celebrate for him, to say, boy, this year you've had a fantastic year. You know what? Don't misuse the money. Don't buy a new car. Invest in this. You know, you have to be truly generous to others. Thank you. My intention today was to speak to finance people is a difficult thing because my life has been made up of trying to pitch projects to finance people. They are very difficult. As you walk into their room, he looks at you and says, Becca, what are you coming to ask for this morning? So I'm hoping that this has helped to give you a new perspective of how do you unlock growth. Of course, the formalities around it, we all know, but it's really, really coming from you, setting up the ambition, understanding you have to work through your team, your teams, your people, your organization. It is ensuring that you are clear on what you are trying to create for yourself and connecting yourself to something bigger, all right? Before I leave this stage, I always want to tell people my personal purpose. If some of you don't have personal purposes, I encourage you to have one. So my personal purpose is to unleash the genius in everyone and enable them to achieve more. That's the reason I exist. With that personal purpose, I could be a teacher, I could be a farmer, I could be chairman of a bank, or I could be a chief finance officer, depending. Establishing a personal purpose helps you to be clear on what article of growth you're trying to create. So I encourage you, if you haven't landed one, please work on it and get one. Thank you.
I think he deserves a much bigger hand clap than that. My purpose is helping young people discover the best version of themselves. Not too dissimilar from Becca's, I guess. How many have I? How many have I helped? I was with 3,400 kids in Masaka last week. I was supposed to be in Soroti today, but I had to be here. We do an activity together with the Ministry of Education where me and about 7 or 8 other people facilitate secondary school kids to understand what they are here to do. We go and ask them 4 questions. Who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? And how do I get there? And so we spend about a 2-day experience helping kids ask themselves these questions. And we've noticed over the last year or so, unfortunately, that many of our teenagers now get to 17, 18 when they're about ready to go to the university, and they can't answer this question. When I was 13, back in 1992, 93, I think, I had decided at that time that I wanted to be a radio presenter because the first FM stations had opened in Uganda, and I figured that was the easiest way to get attention from girls. And so it didn't quite work out that way, unfortunately. But look on the bright side, I did end up doing radio. I did end up being fairly successful in my space, if you want to say that way. I've had what you would say is an illustrious career in the media. So yeah, I've not done too badly, right? And so I hope, as Becca has said, that each and every one of you has a personal purpose. And if you could please turn to the person next to you and tell them what your personal purpose is. If the person next to you doesn't have one, please raise your hand so we can come and lay hands on them. As you do that, our keynote speaker, so many key things to pick up from what you said, Becca. And you said you didn't want to sound spiritual, but unfortunately you were, because it is written that God opposes the proud and gives grace to the humble. So it's like you are literally quoting from the book itself. You also talked about it's got to be beyond self, and I think that's really important for us to learn. But also, I think the big takeaway for me tonight has been the idea of growing as a Christmas tree. In my thought, usually I want to climb the electric pole, but like you said, of course, that means that if you come down, you're probably coming down quicker and harder, so the Christmas tree is always going to be much easier. So lots of key insights to pick from there, and I'm sure we've all learned from that. Looking forward to, again, you're able to interact with our keynote speaker during dinner, just to ask them more questions and get some insights from what you have had. Now, it is my honor, I'm going to ask our country manager to come. My shoelaces are not worthy to invite our chief guest, so I'll ask Charlotte to come and have the honor of inviting our chief guest to come and deliver his message as well, before we will then have dinner and get into the business end of our evening, where we get to reward our CFO of the year. Also, I should point out, our winner from last year is in the house. If you could please stand, Andrew, for a moment for us to recognize you and celebrate Mr. Bugembe, who is our, we should say, defending winner. And unfortunately, he has to hand over power today. We'll find out who he's going to hand that over to. So if you would please come and do the honors of welcoming our chief guest.
Our chief guest, the Deputy Governor of Central Bank, the Bank of Uganda. We are so grateful for having managed to make it this evening. And to you, the audience, I would like to just let you know how important it was. We've had 3 attempts at getting the audience of the Deputy Governor as ACCA Uganda for various reasons. And it's only for this moment, the CFO Awards 2024, that we're lucky to hit it right today. So you can access his very detailed profile on LinkedIn page and in social media. But for this evening, you're welcome, and we look forward to hearing from you and celebrating this evening because of your sector, the banking sector. Welcome, sir.
Let me start by saying I'm not an accountant. And why am I saying that? I don't want to... let me start by saying that I'm not an accountant, because that would mean in introducing everyone, I have to observe the number of C's. FCCA, ACCA, ICPU, and what have you. So I don't want to offend anybody. You know, in economics, we just hold everything constant and we move. So I'm very, very humbled indeed to be standing before you as a chief guest in this event, where we are going to give awards to the accountants for 2024. And we're going to celebrate the remarkable achievements of the chief financial officers who continue to inspire excellence, leadership, and innovations in the Ugandan financial sector, and of course other corporates as well. But let me begin by saying that in a world where the financial landscape is rapidly evolving, I think the CFOs have become key architects on sustainable growth. I know the theme here is pushing boundaries, okay? Exploring the growth mindset. But before I come to pushing boundaries, I want to emphasize that growth can only be important if it's sustainable. You can't grow today, tomorrow you're not growing. So we need to ask ourselves, how can we push boundaries in order to achieve sustainable growth? So the CFOs have a very important role, critical role, to play as not just as financial stewards, but as champions of sustainability. Like I always say, it's no longer enough just to focus on the balance sheet, because I know you guys like the bottom line. But it's no longer enough to focus on the balance sheet. The future demands that we, especially as leaders, we have to embed sustainability into our core strategies. I heard that CFOs are sometimes number twos in an organization, so you have a strategic role to play. So the issue is, are you embedding sustainability into your strategies? We must align our business models with environment, social, and governance sustainability principles, so that we are here to ensure that growth benefits not only the shareholders, but the stakeholders. You know, if you are going to have a sustainable company, a sustainable sector, you need to make sure that the community, the society in which you're operating is sustainable. So that's why we need to move away from the narrative of creating value for only shareholders, but create value for the stakeholders, for purpose of sustaining that environment that's going to generate profits or business for the company that we're talking about. So let me say something about Bank of Uganda and the ACCA role in sustainability. You know, now for the poachers, I'm not trying to say anything about it, but don't poach. The Bank of Uganda takes significant pride in employing the diverse group of professionals, including nearly 80 ACCAs. These are credential holders, right? And at different levels, they've been empowered. We have executive directors, we have directors, we have managers and officers who have risen to the challenges that come with building a sustainable financial sector. Among them, we are very proud to count our own Executive Director of Finance, one of the previous winners in this CFO Awards of the year. Maybe, Richard, you can stand up for recognition. But no poaching. These awards remind us of the transformative power of the ACCA qualification. It is a credential that equips finance professionals to succeed and also to thrive and lead their institutions into a sustainable future. CFOs hold a unique position of influence in driving sustainable finance, embedding ESG principles, and ensuring that financial institutions not only survive but prosper in the face of emerging sustainability-related challenges. So why am I bringing this topic? I am bringing this topic so that we push beyond the boundaries. just leave your bottom line and think about value creation. How do you create value while ensuring that your bottom line is met? So what are some of the things that we have been mindful of when we are pushing these boundaries? There are a number of emerging challenges that we are facing today, but some of them are cutting across, irrespective of the sector that you're in. And one of them is a climate risk, and it's a key motivator for sustainability. You know, the urgency of the climate risk cannot be overstated. Across the entire globe, extreme weather events ranging from devastating floods to prolonged droughts are becoming more frequent, and they're becoming more impactful. And we have dire consequences for both economies and financial institutions. So whether you're a CFO in Uganda breweries, right, and there is a climate change, extreme drought, where do you source your inputs from? If you're using sorghum, whatever you're using, and there's extended drought, it affects you. So how do you ensure that there is a constant supply of this input? Is by taking into account environmental issues such as climate change. How do you conduct your business to ensure that you have a sustained flow of your inputs? So the increasing severity of climate-related disasters poses a significant risk to our economic stability, business continuity, and ultimately the livelihoods of millions. So as CFOs, it is vital that you recognize that climate risk is not just a distant possibility, it is present and an escalating danger. If left unchecked, climate change will undermine our financial systems, causing asset losses and supply chain disruptions, like I've mentioned in the case of the breweries, and market volatility. These are the risks that must be factored into your financial planning, risk assessment, and investment strategies. At the Bank of Uganda, for example, we have issued comprehensive guidelines for managing climate-related financial risks to ensure that all the supervised financial institutions are prepared to address these challenges. Our guidelines help banks to assess and manage both the fiscal risks and the transition risks as we move towards a low-carbon economy. So, again, as the CFOs, you are on the front lines of safeguarding your institutions against these risks. Integrating climate risk into your financial strategies is no longer an option. It is essential that this is done to ensure long-term resilience and sustainability. To me, this is one way that you are going to push the boundary. Now, I have a call for action. Sustainability and broader finance initiatives. Now, beyond risk mitigation, sustainability offers ways to seize new opportunities. The financial sector has a unique role to play in fostering sustainable growth. And sustainable finance is about embedding the ESG principles into every aspect of financial operations, from risk management and investment decisions to lending criteria and corporate governance. The ESG principles must be formally integrated into the governance frameworks with relevant policies and procedures instituted across all levels and business processes. Now, at the Bank of Uganda, we've taken a significant stride forward by adopting, for example, the integrated reporting framework in our recently released annual report for the year 2023 to /24. It is just not a reporting exercise. It is a commitment to a holistic approach that focuses on long-term value creation for stakeholders, not just shareholders. We have challenged ourselves to go beyond mere reporting by proactively intensifying our focus on sustainability. To this end, we have enrolled with the Sustainability Standard Certification Initiative, which is now guiding our ESG efforts in alignment with our strategy. While these interventions may seem modest at the institutional level, their collective impact can be transformative. If every institution did that, those modest steps we're making, if we combine, aggregate it, it can become a transformative impact. So together, there are no better ambassadors to champion this cause than the finance professionals who are gathered here tonight. Together we can spread the gospel of sustainability and integrated reporting, driving meaningful change and creating lasting values for our institutions, our economy, and our society. Sometime in June this year, the Uganda Bankers Association launched an ESG framework for the Uganda banking sector. And it marked to us a significant milestone in equipping financial institutions with the tools and guidance towards integrating sustainability alongside profitability. It is a journey to the triple bottom of the 3 Ps: the people, the planet, and profits, where sustainability has a role of protecting and maximizing the benefits of the 3 Ps. So this framework is going to enable banks to embed the ESG principles into their operations, incorporating climate risks, green business practices, and fostering financial inclusion while remaining financially sustainable. By addressing local challenges and aligning with the global best practices, the framework supports the broader goal of sustainability and positions the Uganda banking sector at the forefront of responsible and forward-thinking financial services. In addition, of course, we are playing a critical role in fostering national financial inclusion, which prioritizes financial inclusion through sustainable and responsible financial services that are accessible to all. Because sustainable financing aids social inclusion by providing financial services, including appropriate loans to the vulnerable, the underserved population at the bottom of economic pyramid. We believe that financial institutions and finance professionals are encouraged to leverage emerging technologies in channeling capital to creating decent jobs and sustainable economic opportunities, particularly for the underserved and the vulnerable population, while improving on their own operational efficiency. This can be done partly through the collaboration with the fintechs to increase financial outreach and inclusion efficiently, as we have seen through the growth of digital financial services such as micro-deposits, microloans, and microinsurance. And this model can be replicated across business firms in your distribution systems, right? You can use this kind of approach in ensuring that you get to the bottom of the pyramid. We're also aware that the fourth industrial revolution presents massive opportunities such as cloud computing, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and blockchain. And these are all meant to enhance efficiency and scaling business nationwide, reaching the underserved in the hard-to-reach areas. So therefore, the finance professionals must be ready to embrace these developments and advise the institutions on the potential benefits and pitfalls. And this requires a change in the mindset. And we need to grow that change of the mindset. It requires multi-skilling, building relationships, and continuous learning about emerging technologies. So this is pushing the boundaries in order to create sustainable growth through value creation. So sustainability is not just about managing risks. It is about also creating value that I've mentioned. And the risks that we're talking about here, climate, IT, and cybersecurity risks, the risks of reaching the unbanked. All right, people who don't, at the last mile, at the bottom of the economic pyramid, there are risks involved. But we need them to create sustainability. So how do we create value in them? By embedding sustainable finance into your strategies, you not only protect your institutions, but position them for long-term growth. We are talking about long-term growth that generates sustainability for the firms, the corporates, the institutions that we work for. Now, we believe that the financial sector can drive investments in renewable energy, sustainable infrastructure, and other sectors which are key to Uganda's future. Now, what does that mean for the CFO? The question is, what is the evolving role for the CFO? From a financial steward to a chief value officer. So I'm arguing that the role of the CFO has changed and has evolved. You are no longer just a financial steward, you are a chief value officer. Your role is now centered around creating value, protecting value, and reporting value. To succeed, you must embrace innovation and adopt digital tools such as data analytics, artificial intelligence, and cultivate a culture of sensibility in your organization. So this is pushing boundaries if we're going to create it. And at the Bank of Uganda, we are working to foster a banking environment that supports innovation in sustainable finance. This includes engaging with stakeholders to facilitate the development of financial instruments that support the broader objective of sustainability. We believe that these instruments will enable financial institutions to fund projects that address environmental, social, and governance challenges across multiple sectors, including renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and infrastructure development. So as chief finance officers, you must seize this moment. You have the opportunity to champion sustainable finance initiatives by leveraging responsible lending practices, risk management frameworks, embedding ESG into your institution strategies. And this is not just about compliance. It is about building a resilient, forward-looking corporates, firms, financial system that contribute positively to the development of our country. Now, I want to leave a challenge to ACCA Uganda. Tonight, I also extend a challenge to ACCA Uganda. The CFO Awards are prestigious recognition of excellence, and I urge ACCA Uganda to place even more emphasis on sustainability when assessing future candidates. By integrating sustainability promotion into the qualification process, ACCA can ensure that tomorrow's finance leaders are not only equipped to navigate financial complexities, but are ready to lead the charge into sustainable financing. In conclusion, I sound a call to lead. The CFOs, the time for action is now. Sustainability is not just about compliance, it's about securing the future for generations to come. Embrace this responsibility and lead your organizations into a sustainable, resilient future. As you do this, remember that the choices you make today will shape the world that we are going to live in tomorrow. I want to thank all of you for your kind attention, and I wish you all a wonderful evening ahead, and may the Almighty God bless you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Governor, Bank of Uganda. As I said, me, I'll be a prophet. We shall remove the deputy until it comes into reality. Thank you so much for some very insightful words. Again, lots of takeaways. I think the big one for me is your emphasis on how CFOs are now chief value officers and no longer chief frugal officers, which is what we've always known them to be. I was having a chat with one of our partners here, Cham, who is with the CEO East Africa Magazine, and he was saying that there should be an award category specifically for the CFO who pays suppliers the quickest. This is feedback to the ACCA and Deloitte team. We think that this award would be very useful and important and would be aspirational for very many people. So Chama and I are nominating, we have some people that we are nominating that we think would be very useful in that regard. So it's time for us to have a meal, and then we'll get down to the business end of our evening. I know that there's so many important people here, and I will try and make sure we can find some time to recognize as many of you as possible. So allow me to let us get some food, and then we'll be able to get to the business end of our evening, which is to recognize our CFOs. The way our dinner will be served is that someone will come to your table and pick you and take you to a serving point to make sure you don't have to stay in a line for too long or anything like that. You're too important for such inconveniences. So if you just remain where you are, I'll ask Ivuga Band to come and help the food go down a bit more smoothly and prepare our enzymes as we prepare to have a wonderful meal. Bon appetit, and then we will get down to the business of recognizing our CFOs of the year. So enjoy the meal as we enjoy some music from Ivuga Band. Someone will come to your table and usher you to where you can go and pick your meal. In fact, even as we start, can I ask Charlotte if I can kindly bully you into picking your table to go that way? I'll ask our defending winner CFO, Andrew, to please carry your table to go to this serving point. I see on this table that has our CEOs from Centenary Bank. I see UDBs here and Stanbic Bank. Allow me to bully you also to please go and serve food first, and then we'll have everyone else join along the way. Enjoy the dinner, and let's enjoy some wonderful vibes from Ivuga Band as we have a wonderful meal together.
Emunyezi myansamu bwengula ng'ebirozo biringita abagalana bannesimisa wandekawo n'ofuna omulala. Emunyezi myansamu bwengula ng'ebirozo biringita abagalana bannesimisa wandekawo n'ofuna omulala. Woyi Potulo, woyi Potulo, woyi Potulo. Potulo, eyemitala gy'oli oteranga n'odda ompaka weke ak'omukwano gwo neebake. Eyemitala gy'oli oteranga n'odda ompaka weke ak'omukwano gwo neebake. Woyi Potulo, woyi Potulo, yeah, woyi Potulo, woyi Potulo. nze nsaba katonda kumpe funa otulo 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 oyi potulo oyi potulo Owuliranga kayimba kano nkubira nze gwe waganza ne bwerabira ombuuliranga ekigendererwa tewalina wandekera ssejiga n'ogenda omubiri gwona kabugumu byewalina bwe wajjako akateeteeyi akakiragala okuzuukuka n'endaba ebbaluwa wandekera ssenyiga n'ogenda ofisanga ku katte n'okyalira 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 Kalanzi on the guitar tonight. Ivuga band.
taking your way back in time.
Send me the pillow that you dream on. Don't you know that I still care for you? Send me the pillow that you dream on. So darling, I can dream on it too. Each night while I'm sleeping, no so lonely, I'll share your love and dreams that I once knew. I've waited so long for you to write to me, but just the memories all that's left of you. Send me the pillow that you dream on. Don't you know that I still care for you? Send me the pillow that you dream on. So darling, I can dream on it too. Taking you in time. Towards my bad face, I couldn't turn away. My eyes won't let me. I thought I was dreaming, but you said right in my way. And all my eyes can see is you. If it is love, my dear, welcome to my world. Let us share the good times together. It's only one world. Let's share it together. 'Cause all my eyes can see is your mighty.
I don't know if the sun will shine tomorrow, but I know that my eyes will never let me down. 'Cause they tell me you're my future and I believe my eyes. And I don't care if the sun will shine anymore. If it is love, my dear, welcome to my world. And let us share the good times together. Well, it's only one world. Let's share it together. 'Cause all my eyes can see is you, my dear. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na na na. Na na na. Na na na. Na 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 na. Namagembe oliwa ng'oluddeyo nyeyo gy'oli aba ndi wano nkulize sindindiriddeyo wange zegwe nasiima mu bangi kati nno katanti bulijjo wetegerezanganya abantu bwe mutabagana obulungi ababawalana lwe baba bangi babalemesa omukwano kati nno jjukira luli bwe twali fembi nga batulaba balaba bubi olw'okuba nti ffe tussa kimundono ne tubalemesa. Yeah. Kati weyongere wano tobalina n'abali tobalina n'abakukulumya abo bakolerera kukulumya kwababo baveeko baviire. You got a smile so bright, you know you could have been a candle. I'm holding you so tight, you know you could have been a handle. The way you swim me on my feet, you know you could have been a broom. And baby, you're so sweet, you know you could have been some honey. Well, you could have been anything that you wanted to, I can tell. The way you do the things you do, I like the way you do the things you do. The way you do the things you do, I like the way you do the things you do. See, as pretty as you were, you know you could have been a flower. If good looks were meanings, you know you could have been an hour. The way you stole my heart, you know you could have been a cook. And baby, you're so smart, you know you could have been a schoolboy. Well, you could have been anything that you wanted to, I can tell. The way you do the things you do, I like the way you do the things you do. The way you do the things you do, I like the way you do the things you do. See? was the Scooby-Doo. And the music they played there was not good for a Rastaman, was not good for an Eaterman. I'm going back to my roots, yeah, yeah. Reggae music is all that I need. I'm going back to my roots, yeah, yeah. Reggae music is all that I need. kubanga gwe bw'oyimba ebinuma
gwe gutte bisekako matu ukaseko kange ebibyo bye byange wenanze kweyagalira awo kyekyo ebyo era yenze Thank you. Thank you for having us. We are Ivuga Band. Thank you very much. We are Ivuga Band once again. If you would like to know more about us, our beautiful manager is in the place, Portia, right there, in an orange dress. Yellow. It's a yellow dress. Our manager is right there, Portia. Thank you for having us. We have someone special, Happy K. Once again, we are Ivuga Band. And if you'd like to know more about us, let me invite our beautiful manager, Portia, right here on stage, so everyone can see you.
She's right there. The beautiful Portia. Yeah, we're going to be joined by a very special and amazing gentleman right here. This is Uncle Happy Chaze right there. You're welcome to join us.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Happy Chaze. I'm going to take it a little bit down, then up, then up. Well, let me start with a cappella. Omanyi ense tutwala speed. Nabadde awo ejjo. Nengaka kanjiyeyo akayimba katukakkanya. In life you have to calm down, not so? But there is a point whereby you have to meditate. You meditate a little bit. So, yesterday I composed this melody. And feel free. It's just a cappella. And please enjoy.
It's almost ridiculous how they do that. It's like they can't. Different human beings. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope everyone has enjoyed their dinner and had some dessert. There's some really, really good dessert. Today you can cheat if you're on a weight loss program or something. You have exemption for one night. The cake is really, really tasty. They do a really good job. In the interest of time, I'd like us to get on to the business end of our program, where we start our award ceremony. I should warn you, in case you are thinking about leaving early, it will be what is called an exercise in futility. As you are well aware, in Kampala, when it rains, our traffic becomes very interesting. And right now, outside this building, there is something called gridlock. proper gridlock. So don't waste your time trying to go out. You're here for at least another hour and a half, or you're out in the parking for another hour and a half. You choose. I think it's better to be inside here than in the parking trying to get out of the building. So in case you are thinking about going away, don't be in a rush. The traffic outside is really, really bad. So don't be in a hurry to go anywhere. As we get into the business end of the awards, I would like us to hear from our winner from last year to set the stage rolling. We also have a short video in terms of the growth of some of our previous CEOs, and I think that the governor and our keynote mentioned this as well. And so, Andrew, if you'd come and say something about how good you have felt being a CFO of the year, if it has come with the benefits at home, you know, did you get treated with extra respect in the house and things like that? And then, yeah, exactly, like Sanjay is saying, so.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So my remarks are easy, no speech. I don't have to worry about that. So first of all, I'd like to thank ACCA and Deloitte for this. And the importance of this is putting the position and what CFOs do to where it should be. So last year, when I was honored to win CFO of the year, it was the Chief Value Officer. You'll be surprised till today how many people still misunderstand who we really are and what we do. Even those who've gone to, you know, the Ivy schools. And some of the programs, and you know, like we're here today, is trying to dispel. And no one can do that better than us. I liked the previous speakers when they spoke, you know, when Becca was speaking about personality. You see, I returned in 2020, and I'd spent about 10 years in West Africa. COVID helped me sneak in, because by the time people realized I was back as CFO, it was the IPO. But the shock but you're Ugandan. And so sometimes culture and our people try and shape who we are as a people. At one of our AGMs, one minister asked me, are you from South Africa? I was like, why? He was surprised because I was asked to speak in my local language, but he also could not understand how can a Ugandan be a CFO. So I like the theme this time when he talks about pushing boundaries and growth mindset. In our industry in telecom, if we do not do this, we are dead. Not one day is the same in telecoms. So in MTN, you know, when we came back around 2020, revenue growth pretty much almost 10, short of 10. Where we are today, where that has doubled to 20, could not have been done unless your mindset and what you did yesterday can't take you where you need to go tomorrow. But more and more importantly is the people. Now, I keep pushing my team. By the way, I need to recognize my team from MTN here. And some of them is a beautiful lady. When I came, I used to work with her. Then I left, came back 10 years, met her doing FinOps, and I told her, Sarah, you need to get out of a dungeon and open your mind so that you can look at strategy and not just reporting. Myself today, I think I look at the numbers at night on PowerPoint. I don't change much anymore. I don't have the time. What am I trying to say is the agility for your staff to be able to make a difference is super, super important. So, the one thing that we cannot forget are two things. Yes, you can invest in systems. Yes, you can invest in people. For us in telecom today, especially the threat of AI can actually take almost, to be honest, 50-60% of the jobs. The difference is, are they doing it? Of course, AI won't put buildings. We were in China 3 weeks ago. If you could see what the power of AI can do to our industries, where you'll have real-time offers. It will diagnose whatever is happening to your network, and all you have to do is just go and fix. Now, the kind of skill set we have in our people, if you sit back and you're like, you've arrived, and you do not have what you call learning agility, you'll be wiped out without knowing. And that's why I'm very happy that we need to push ourselves beyond boundaries. I like the unknown, so I like challenges. If everything becomes usual, then it's boring. And I think what we need to do now is keep learning, keep the agility, keep pushing the boundaries. Before I end, again, I would like to, thank the team. I would like to thank my fellow judges. And most importantly, I would say good luck. And to answer the real question on how it changed my life when I was at Judge CFO Gala, honestly took me by surprise. I had no bloody clue what that can do to you as a person. That I will be very honest. My own colleagues, my group CFO was at Harvard, called me late in the night just to say, Andrew, thank you. My VP called and said, Andrew, there's one thing being CFO over here, but man, you did a hat trick. And I was like, okay, is this thing this big? So I honestly took it for granted, and thereafter, you go to group, the story, then people go to know about me. I don't talk so much about myself. I think I'm financial. But for whoever will win, I think it brings out who we are as a people and not just the financial. But you'll be more than surprised that, you've done work for a long while, and then people get to know what you're able to do. So no, it was a great story, I must tell you, especially for me who was away, coming back, spending almost 3-4 years, I could not have gotten a better present, for everything we've done. So it was really perfect. I would say, honestly, till today, I got tired of newspaper, magazines. I just wanted to go away and think. So yes, it's a great opportunity, so please don't take these things for granted. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Andrew, and congratulations. Also now, wherever you go and people try to disturb you at gates, you tell them, do you know who I am? Do you know me? I'm the CFO of the year. Please step aside. Yes, they have to treat you with a lot of respect. As you've heard, it can really change your life, the perception that you have, as you heard from Andrew, his VP, people from group calling him. We've also had many other people who have gone through this experience, and I want to play a very quick video that shows the growth of some of our previous winners. Let's play the video.
By recognizing and celebrating outstanding financial leaders, CFO Awards have fostered a culture of excellence and innovation. They have inspired aspiring accountants, motivated seasoned professionals, and showcased the critical role of CFOs in driving business success.
We've been at the forefront of the CFO Awards and the CFO agenda in partnership with Deloitte for the last 7 years, and we are happy to be hosting you again for the 8th edition. We've just renewed our MOU for the next 3 years, and that is an exciting journey because we've achieved what we set out to achieve in the beginning, and would like to continue this because it has grown into something bigger.
We do run a wholesome CFO program, and the CFO Awards are just one part of it. We also do run the quarterly CFO network forums, and in these we bring CFOs together to network, but also to share knowledge. And in these we also have other seasoned CFOs that come to mentor other CFOs.
The CFO Awards have spurred dialogue and knowledge sharing within the accounting community. This has led to advancements in practices and thought leadership, as well as a greater appreciation for the value that accountants bring to the organizations. The awards have also helped to raise the visibility of the accounting profession to the wider public, demonstrating its importance in the economy and society at large. This year's theme is pushing boundaries and exploring the growth mindset.
First took part in the CFO Awards 2017. I was runner-up for the CFO of the year, and from that time on, it has been an interesting journey, moving from being a CFO at that time and now rising up to become Deputy Managing Director for NSSF and now Managing Director for NSSF.
Winning the awards in 2017 and 18 were really impactful for me because it was a very strong milestone moment in terms of the work that I had done as a Chief Financial Officer and enabled me to really take stock of where I wanted to take the next part of my journey. So in fact, following that, I transitioned away from being a Chief Financial Officer and moved into the business side of our bank, where I began to head the retail bank and then transitioned from that point into the role that I'm sitting in today.
In addition to the impact on the accounting profession, the CFO Awards have also had a positive effect on the business community by recognizing CFOs who have demonstrated exceptional leadership and financial acumen. The awards have encouraged other executives to strive for excellence in their roles. This has ultimately benefited businesses of all sizes as they've been able to make better decisions and achieve stronger financial performance.
Really, what captured my attention in the process of becoming CFO for public sector in 2019 was the fact that the process was very transparent, to the effect that the nominations, you do not have to nominate yourself. You even don't get to know who nominated you. But secondly, the rigors in terms of determining how somebody would be the best CFO was also very important, because the panel had different people with different backgrounds, people who are respected in society, and the interviews were very rigorous.
I was the winner of the Technology Award in 2018. The growth mindset in the finance world is moving away from looking at our performance in the past. And I know we do provide financial reports. They are more of backdated, looking behind and reporting on what happened. There's a new aspect that is coming on, and specifically in the IT world, of AI. Whereby, as an example, you get to do things much faster.
I'd like to congratulate all the nominees for 2024 Uganda CFO Awards, and also call on you to go ahead and apply for the Africa CFO Awards that ACCA is organizing at a regional level.
Overall, the CFO Awards have had a profound impact on the accounting sector in the last 8 years. They have elevated the profile of the profession, fostered a culture of excellence, and inspired a new generation of financial leaders. The awards have also contributed to the advancements in accounting practices and thought leadership, and have helped to raise the visibility of the profession to the wider public.
Oh, wow. There's something that our keynote speaker, Mr. Magunda, mentioned earlier on about growth. And as you can see, almost literally every one of our winners in just the last 5 years has grown to be a chief executive. Isn't that incredible to see that kind of growth and how it's happening? So our chief judge used to be a CFO and also quickly migrated to doing much bigger things. He's an incredible person, wonderful personality, great leader, but most importantly for me, he's a Liverpool supporter, and so more than anything else, I see the governor is also in. If you're here and you support Liverpool Football Club, please put up your hand. If you are, just look at the table here. Just the fact that our chief guest is a supporter of Liverpool, that's more than enough. Sanjay, if you would please come and get us started, tell us a little bit about the judging process this year, and then we'll get into the business. Please welcome our CEO at Stanchart Uganda, Sanjay Rugani, also our chief judge.
Ben, come here. Let's take a picture, because after this, it's about the winners. So let's do a few nice things here. Ben, come on. And this way one. Looks nice. These CFO champions are amazing. Great. How are you all doing? It's getting late, but exciting, yeah? I'm going to take the lead from my friend, the keynote speaker, because he said greetings from the Blue Bank. I'm going to say greetings from the Blue and Green Bank. And of course, the bank that sponsors the red team. So that's more exciting. Great. Andrew so humbly spoke about his winning last year. And Ben asked him that after he became, the CFO of the year, what did he get? I know when I spoke to his team, they said we had to give him a bigger bundle because he started getting a lot of calls and messages. But I don't think we did justice in clapping for him. He was such an incredible. Andrew, so proud of you. We should have celebrated you last year. And clearly an amazing, a lot of us got to know you just because of the interview, so keep it up. There's lots of young talent that follow you, which is important. Let me just say all protocols observed. Thank you for being here. I've got many presidents, my chair is here for UBA, my deputy governor is here, and I know many of my clients are here, so my bosses are around because it's because of you I'm looking healthy. Thank you. I also want to say this is probably the best time to be a CFO. It is the best time to be an accountant. As the world becomes more complicated, it is our profession that has, from day one, when you decide to become an accountant, learned to deal with complexity. We actually go through all kinds of equations. And the good news is that whilst there are many languages and many things that divide the world, for business, where there's 200 million plus businesses in the world, there is only one language, and that is accounting. So there is never a better time than now to be an accountant. And that is because, as the Deputy Governor said, that the beauty of being an accountant now is your stakeholders, your CEOs, your shareholders, your consumers, the future generation. Everybody is demanding that the CFOs play a bigger role, because we can drive trust, we can create value, we can protect value, and we can report value. That's what the Deputy Governor said. I was talking to a colleague of mine today and said, so how do you change this mindset? And I know that our keynote speaker spoke a lot about it. But there was a very nice analogy to say that in life, and I can tell you as we go through the results that in Uganda, we still have a long way to go when it comes to be champions. And it's only about that mindset shift. So it is that simple, but that complex. And the complexity is that we all want to be comfortable. We want to make sure that everything is just the way. Status quo is what we like. And this world, as it evolves very fast, Andrew spoke about his journey, but as it evolves very fast, change is the only constant. And I was telling somebody that if you in life want, for example, the change of mindset, I was talking to some youth, that if you want to buy a red car, suddenly you think, man, the red car is the most amazing thing in life and I need to buy it. As you go onto the road, you'll see more red cars. You go to the parking lot, you'll see a red car. But if you just stand there and say the red car will come to me, it won't come to you. You have to change your mindset. So I'm talking about red because there is a red team and ACCA is also red, which is great. So I want to compliment really and thank ACCA, Deloitte. What you do is remarkable. And sometimes, whilst we all come here and we're going to enjoy, it is you who are truly championing the cause of the CFO. So big acknowledgement to you all. Right, so allow me to really introduce our judges. I don't know if they're going to come on the screen, but as that may happen or not, I want to recognize our judges who are incredible, very diverse, very committed, and in fact, there was a lot of stimulation as we had our own engagements. So, of course, myself, we can move on quickly. Right, this is none other than this is our friend Jennifer Muhuruzi. She is the Acting Director, Treasury Services and Asset Management in the Accountant General's Office. It's amazing. You saw Julius there, Julius Kakito, the CEO of Postbank Uganda, also an ex-CFO. Julius, pleasure. And then Dorothy Semanda, she is the CEO of ATC. Hi Dorothy, you can say hello to everybody. Good to see you. Fortunately, this year we also had Andrew as one of our judges. He was not there for the last session, but as part of the pre-qualifying process, Andrew was there. On the last day, he was a bit busy. We also had Lillian Katiso for the third year, Mama Maua as we call her sometimes. But Lillian is the financial management consultant and QuickBooks trainer and the co-founder and managing director of Zadok Associates. Lillian, it was great to see you. And then finally we had Godfrey Beikwaso. He's the managing director of Centenary Bank Limited in Malawi, and he stayed online all through, and this is not the first time he does that. His commitment is just very purposeful. So why was I the chief guest? I was democratically, I had no influence. They don't bank with me, all of them, as you can understand, but I was just appointed, so I'm very privileged. And I do want to congratulate all the participants, the nominees. There was a lot of richness. But like I said, we'll share some observation on what can be done better. So the nomination process, as Charlotte spoke, started on 29th of June and then went on till 6th of September. And then there was a lot of filtering that happens. The Deloitte guys do an incredible amount of work. You can imagine if you just give them accounts, they take 3 months to go through them. This was over 300 plus, and I'll talk about, there were 380 nominations. So you can imagine the data and the insight they had to go through. And they had to do a lot of filtering because it's very important to bring authentic things to the end, which is very important. So background checks, compliance checks, and a lot much more. Beyond just the nominations, there's a lot much more engagement that happens with your stakeholders to get to know your validation. And that is what I would really encourage nominees to know. It's not about just the story that you send, but the story that you have left over the years, the legacy you've built is more critical. So after the first level of filtering, you know, we had actually 380 nominations for about 60 CFOs and professionals. This was a record nomination year for Uganda. So after the filtering, all the judges have to go through the 60 CFOs which were filtered down. And then what we do is 36, well, you know, from 60 we had to go through the 36 CFOs who were filtered down. And then we had to say by category, and remember there were 10 categories, who are the top 3 nominees that we found individually ranked the top. So we had to go through a proper process of few days, evaluation. So let me just remind you all of the 10 categories, and I'll also talk to you the number of CFOs that actually came through in the evaluation process and how many nominations were there. So compliance and governance, 9 CFOs were nominated, and the total number of nominations we received were 25. So of course that, we do receive multiple nominations for the CFOs. For finance transformation and technology, and Andrew just talked about AI, there were 12 CFOs who came through finally, and there were 22 nominations that we received. For strategy execution, we had 10, and there were 10 nominations. So this is an area for us to improve on. Leadership, very, very good. We had 16 CFOs, but they had 70 nominations. This tells you that CFOs are getting acknowledged more and more for their leadership. For the non-for-profit, 4 CFOs had 105 nominations. That's a lot of nominations. So we really don't need quantity, we need quality, is probably the message I would say. For the Young CFO of the Year award, we had 11 CFOs, but 53 nominations. For the public sector, 6 CFOs, 8 nominations. For SME, 4 CFOs, 10 nominations. And I was just telling Deputy Governor, the saddest part of all, and I hope it changes now that the Deputy Governor has made a lot of plea, but also told us it's all about creating value, it's about committing to sustainability. We actually had 1 CFO nominated, well, 1 CFO and 1 CFO nominated. So you can see how much opportunity there is I see the glass half full. We can be disappointed, but I think as we look forward, this is going to be the big theme, even as we evaluate. I think the challenge has been given to ACCA and Deloitte. So as we are evaluating, your role in sustainability is going to be key going forward. So in the interviews, we finally interviewed based on ranking. We came up with a short listing of 16. We had finally interviewed 15, and that's because one unfortunately could not come up. I also want to tell you that the judges had an assessment tool. Each judge had an individual score, and ultimately we take the average scores. In the average scores, if in any category somebody is scored below 60%, they actually get eliminated. So the requirement and the criteria is very high, is very, very high, is what I would say. So, like I said, the quantity of nominations this year grew from 286 last year to 380, which speaks about the visibility of the awards, but also speaks about the appreciation. We have also agreed we'll do more work to socialize this going forward. There was a lot of diversity, which is very exciting and always good. And there was a lot of first-time CFOs that came through, which is always great because we get to see new talent and new value. Most of the CFOs who, of course, all the CFOs you'll see there are real champions. They've done an incredible piece of work, that has gone through the evaluation. So for the test of time, test of the judges, and have come through. So it's going to be great. Now, we also have some recommendations. And remember, we are also benchmarking ourselves with global awards. Charlotte spoke about the upcoming Africa CFO Awards. Tomorrow is the deadline. So please, especially for the winners, I would encourage you to put forward your nomination because you do a great job. And if as a champion you don't know how to celebrate yourself, I appreciate Andrew's humility and humbleness, but I think this is showtime for the CFOs. And I would encourage you that you make the benchmark of the next CFO in Uganda. So just do it in style is what I would say. So the changes that will come forward, because we did some discussion and looked at global best practices, going forward, we're going to change the definition of SMEs slightly, because we see some companies are growing very fast and could change in category. And we're also going to bring down the Young CFO award to 35 years and below from next year onwards. I do want to say that whilst we are congratulating the CFOs today, the 10, and of course the overall winners, so 11 individuals, this is about teamwork. So please, as you go back, it's not just about yourselves. A lot of you talked amazing things about your teams because you are just one figure, and the reality is that you work as a team. So compliments and congratulations to your teams also. I think we've had a great day. We are redefining our purpose. We've talked about pushing boundaries and exploring growth mindset. I couldn't be more proud of my judges. They do an incredible job. Like we said, 7:30 in the morning. We finished at 8:30 in the evening. That's 13 good hours. It was a pleasure. Thank you, ACCA. Thank you, Deloitte. And God bless you, winners. Have a lovely evening. Ben, I realized that every time Charlotte came, you did this to her. Come. I will do the honors. Come. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay. You're too kind. Ladies and gentlemen, our Chief Judge. It's time for us to do what brought us here tonight and recognize our CFOs. We're going to try and make this as quick and exciting as possible. I hope my tech team is ready. The Deloitte team is ready. And to start, we'll have the very first award handed out by our country manager for ACCA. So Charlotte, if you'd please come and get us started. And I'll ask the Deloitte team to be on standby as well. And the very first award we're going to hand out tonight is for the Not-for-Profit Award. Oh, I need to do my duty. I can't disappoint Sanjay, you know. Yeah? Oh, so Sanjay, it's because she has heels. That's why. So okay. Right. So our first award of the night, our Not-for-Profit Award.
Church is a non-profit organization, and it is somehow different than the corporate organizations where they have profit motive behind it. So the way that we work is entirely different than those corporate organizations that work for profit. So we are here to serve the communities, to serve the refugees. So our primary motive is to facilitate them to meet their needs, not to earn the profit.
It's quite an amazing achievement for One World Health. One, because not very many Ugandans, I would say, know about One World Health, apart from those we've served as patients. So it brings One World Health to the table of the country, especially in the finance world, to understand our mission, to understand our vision, to understand why we exist. We've been in existence in Uganda for about 12 years. We've been serving communities, trying to close the gap between government and private sector to provide those affordable care services.
What I've seen is, I think starting out, when I first joined the AMREF, first and foremost, I've gone through the ranks to get to this position. But speaking to the growth mindset, at the start, CFOs were seen as people who are strictly dealing with figures. But right now, my role at AMREF goes just beyond figures. Okay, for instance, I'm now secretary of two committees at AMREF Uganda. That is the audit committee and the finance committee as well. So it goes just beyond reporting on figures, but also taking the governance bit of things and helping the organization grow.
The role of a CFO over the years has evolved. We've moved from the number crunchers to value additional guys in the boardroom. We've moved from the people who just need to be technically good in accounting and finance to people who should be advisors to boards, advisors to owners of businesses.
Well, this was referred to me by one of my colleagues, and tell me that this is a good platform. You can be one of those in the nominations, and yeah, it was a good opportunity to introduce yourself to the corporate community as well, and build a network and get recognized.
I was nominated by a colleague, somebody I worked with, and for me that is the most inspiring thing that has happened to me this year.
I've attended 2 networking events that ACCA Uganda and Deloitte have coordinated. So at the last networking event, I realized that the opportunities, one, to engage with other CFOs and learn and share experiences. But secondly, I was also encouraged by the colleagues that I met at one of the networking events.
My message to the CFO community is this, that explore the emerging technologies and trend, especially with this boom in AI sector. Try to see how you can exploit this technology and this innovation to the best of your advantage.
CFOs that are out there, especially if you're a chartered accountant, you're a CPA, and you're in this role as a CFO, I would like to encourage you to please participate in these awards. Do not wait to be reminded. These awards are normally announced way in advance. Encourage your teams to nominate you, even peers in the same industry and different industries.
Ladies and gentlemen, the envelope is sealed in a green color, which means it is authentic from Deloitte. Okay. And the winner of the Not-for-Profit Award 2024 is Robert Kakoza.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, a big hand clap on that. Robert, please do come as we celebrate you. Robert has in the last 3 years developed finance and accounting manuals for his organizations, SOPs that are easily understood, procurement guidelines, done a great job. The most important thing is the camera. We need to make sure you get a good picture of that. So let's celebrate Robert Kakoza, who is our CFO for Not-for-Profit Award for this year. Another big hand clap for our first winner of the night. We've established a rhythm. We'll now move on very quickly. I'll ask Mr. Sadi to come from Deloitte as we move on to our SME award.
So the envelope is sealed. And the winner for the 2024 SME Award is Simon Jordan Mugisha.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, big hand clap for Simon Jordan Mugisha, who has showcased a deep understanding of finance in relation to products and sales and overall company growth, spearheading systems for documentation, system processes as well, and projecting profitability for the next 5 years. Now, a big winner for the SME Award. And a big thank you to Mr. Sadi as well for helping us hand out the award. And to do the Public Sector Award, I'll ask a representative from Osela Technologies to come. A representative from Osela Technologies to please come and help us to hand out the award for CFO in the Public Sector Award.
First of all, it means a lot. I was overwhelmed when I was called on Saturday. I didn't know I was nominated. I was very excited. And in NERA, I think it will go ahead to create a lot of confidence on my employer, which confidence I know they already have as far as public finance management is concerned.
Of the public sector mean a lot to me and to the team I'm representing. It is a chance for networking, and also the organization UPPC will be known to the public, which is a way of even acquiring more market for our products.
I'm very honored to have been nominated, especially because the nomination came from a colleague. It wasn't mine. So that gives me great honor, because that means that something that I'm doing is right or sits well with the people that I work with. I have been with UEDCL for 2 years, and I was coming from a different sector. Now I'm coming to public sector. But I'm also coming at a time when the business is transforming, because next year we shall be a much bigger business when we take over some of the concessions that have been privately owned. So in that preparation for the last 2 years, we have had to change personally how we do business in the company, how we look at our exposure as the accountants, because now with a much bigger business, the focus is different. You can't keep working the same way you are.
The growth I've seen in this role is in as far as thinking beyond accountants is concerned. That is value addition to an accountant of today. That it is beyond recording and reporting, but it goes beyond, and the value addition is in terms of the advisory we give to the institution, the ability to interpret the figures, the ability to see where the institution is going.
What motivated me to participate in the CFO Award is networking with people, also to explore more opportunities.
I would like to see what is important to other people, because as the people are nominated, you get to learn why people are nominated. That helps you think about how you're doing your own job, what matters to people. But I also just want to meet new people, because you meet some really brilliant young people and then you build a network with them. So it's generally a good event because you get to hear what people see and don't necessarily tell you what is important, so that it also helps you as you do your own job.
Looking at encouraging upcoming accountants, not only in the public sector, even the private sector, because today you cannot achieve alone as a single sector.
To the other CFOs, especially young ones, sometimes we get caught up in the nomination and wanting to take a step forward, but it's also important to build the record. Whatever the job is that you are doing at whatever level it is, when you do it well, gradually the recognition comes, and it doesn't have to be a public recognition, maybe a recognition of colleagues in their subtle way. So I'm just asking young people not to focus so much on what the prize is, but the journey, because that's what gets you there.
Hello, good evening. My name is Alkana. I lead a team from Osela Technologies. We are happy today to be one of the sponsors of the CFO Awards today. And that means we get to be the ones to present the award. So the envelope is sealed. I want to open it. So the winner of Public Sector Award goes to Jacqueline Chiwanuka.
Ladies and gentlemen, our winner for Public Sector Award, Jacqueline Chiwanuka. Let's celebrate her as she comes, looking resplendent, properly dressed for an award ceremony, you must say so. Jacqueline, you don't look like a government employee. She's led the team through a system upgrade at her place. She's implemented some very good standard SOPs for finance, focusing on customer service, and done a really, really good job. So we celebrate Jacqueline. Who's done an incredible job. Congratulations. And a big thank you to Osela as well. I'll move on to our Sustainability Awards, and I'll invite Josephine Osea to please do come and help us hand out the Sustainability Award.
For Umeme, sustainability has been at the cornerstone of what we do since inception. And given that we deal in a dangerous product called electricity, so sustainability has been embedded in our DNA from day one. What this means is that when we deploy capital, we deploy it as a responsible investment through 3 dimensions. One is the social aspects of sustainability around diversity, inclusiveness, responsible social investments, and impact of these investments on the communities that we serve in. The other dimension is the economic aspect, as people who came to solve the electricity distribution challenge in Uganda. One of the fundamentals of that solution is deploying capital, converting it to cash for electricity distribution, such that it can impact the economy. The last one is around environment. Our works have an impact on the environment, so this is also ingrained in what we do. Being shortlisted is a win. So for me and for us at Umeme, already being shortlisted, we believe we are winners. One, I look forward to engaging with the panel, picking their insights, sharing how we've managed sustainability as Umeme, but also learning from them. I also believe I will interface with colleagues across the ACCA and the accounting divide, share insights, and really what is keeping us busy and how we can continue to shape the world. My message to anyone there in the accounting profession and any other profession, a CFO is not just about finance, it's about creating value for the stakeholders that you serve and creating positive impact and influence.
Good evening, and if I open this, I would just like to, for the CFOs who are here, and for those of you who attended the ICPAU annual seminar, Uganda has adopted the sustainability reporting standards, and therefore I'm hoping that all of you are going to implement that in your different organizations. So the envelope is sealed. And the winner for the CFO 2024 Sustainability Award is Andrew Oye.
Congratulations to Andrew. Would it have been interesting if it was a different name in there? You know, anything is possible. We've had elections where unopposed people end up losing the election. Congratulations to Andrew, who's done an incredible job creating an ESG function at Umeme, enabling establishment of appropriate systems as well to serve the needs of strategic business partnerships, and they continue learning and doing an incredible job. And a big thank you to ICPAU and Josephine for being a part of the awards. I'll move on very quickly to our Compliance and Governance Award. I'll ask our Chief Judge, Sanjay, to come help us hand out our Compliance and Governance Award. We are almost getting close to the big awards of the year. Let's find out who our winners are for the Compliance and Governance Award.
and tube compliance and governance is really vital for us in a couple of ways. For example, we believe in creating ecosystem, and you cannot create ecosystem for growth for the company without having compliance and compliances. Compliance, for example, our track record with statutory authorities, our track record with various government authorities has been excellent, and we have been getting a lot of awards. For example, we got a compliance award from URA in 2023. We were the first, we were selected for AEO certification in the pilot program. We were first in the IFRIS pilot program back in 2019.
The nomination for the Compliance and Governance Award is very important to us at Postbank as a finance team. Firstly, it's testament to the 4 years of hard work we've put in to get to where we are, and we're happy that we're being recognized. Obviously, as CFO, I'm very proud of that, because that's like the bedrock of how you run a very good finance team.
Finance is one pivotal role, pivotal function in any organization that can guarantee a success or a failure of an organization. So if finances are well managed and the finance department or the finance head is on top of everything, like he know when and where to take a financial decision, when it would be better to obtain and I mean other sorts of financing like debt financing or some equity financing and those sort of things. So if those decisions are made in a right time, that will definitely ensure growth of an organization.
Participating in these awards is in a way a milestone for me to see how far I've grown as a person, and also how much as a team we have grown.
I look forward to see the definitely winning the award and I have already won, by the way, to be honest, because so many colleagues of mine and business partner nominated me. I was like, really, this is wonderful. I really appreciate all of their support, and I'm sure equally others are going to support me.
I'm looking forward to see how other corporates, CFOs are managing and doing, because lots of problems, lots of the compliance and regulatory requirements are almost same, as well as to network and of course to have my this recognition of best CFO.
I just want to reiterate and thank ACCA for this opportunity to recognize CFOs. CFOs, heads of finance, finance directors, chief value officers do a lot of work. But I also want to say that no CFO does it on their own. They really rely on a very good team. So this is to really recognize those teams who support their CFOs and who work with them daily.
Great. The suspense is growing. Okay, the Compliance and Governance Award, CFO Award for the year goes to none other than Peter Shenyange. Peter!
Congratulations to Peter.
And whilst Peter is coming, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that if one of the judge was in any way disputed or conflicted, then that judge would normally abstain from the voting process. That's what happened for Peter. That's the level of compliance.
Sounds about right. Big hand clap for Peter Senyange, Postbank Uganda Limited. He's done an incredible job in the compliance and governance.
Omo eat your rababa. Feeling good banana. Music don't need permission to enter your spirit.
And a big thank you to Sanjay and the judges as well. Our Young CFO Award is up next, and I'm going to invite a representative from NCBA Bank to come. We are only 4 awards away from the big one. Our chief guest is excited to hand out the CFO of the Year award. We are almost there. I'll have a representative from NCBA Bank to come help us hand out the award for the Young CFO of the Year for 2024.
The nomination in the category of Young CFO was actually a shocker because at Outbox I'm not young, but I understand that for the profession to make finance lead and CFO at this age is no mean feat, and I am proud of the nomination.
You rarely find a CFO being there at that age, because you've gotten to go through entry level of accounting, then experience matters, and then the kind of magnitude of work you'll be looking at, because CFOs are at a level of C-suite executives in a company. You rarely find young people, but modernization is happening and there are a lot of dynamics happening today. Young people are taking the lead in several companies, be it CEOs, because CFOs, you're almost level with CEOs. So being a young CFO category at this level, it means I have acquired a lot of experience and exposure. CFO, the title itself, is a growth mindset. Previously, we had financial controllers. We would have companies having financial controllers, but the growth and the trend is showing we are moving from financial controllers to CFOs. And that means you're only not going to be looking at financials and maybe balance sheets, cash flow statements, but you're also looking at strategic positions of the companies. How are you leading the company strategically?
While the CFO role is growing, the role is also evolving to the extent that it's now being perceived as more of a CVO, which is the Chief Value Officer. I'm privileged to have participated in a research by ACCA that looked at the evolution and growth of the CFO role.
What motivated me to participate, I believe in the credibility of these awards. I have seen the previous winners, and these are people who I look up to in the profession. So I want to walk in their footsteps.
For the fellow CFOs around Uganda and globally, because CFOs could be leading multinational companies even in Uganda, the trend is on, and it's high time we took our mantles and then started running faster. And of course, as we enrich our research and the way we do things in the companies we lead.
Hello, hello. I hope you're doing well. My name is Susan Chusime. I work with NCBA Bank. NCBA Bank is a commercial bank. And at NCBA, we inspire greatness. So we have a slogan at NCBA. When we introduce our names, we say, my name is Susan Chusime, and I'm a go-getter. So you respond, go for it. So can we do this again? Yeah. My name is Susan Chusime, and I'm a go-getter. Yes. So we're very honored to represent or to present the award for the Young CFO. We inspire to be like the winner. So may the best person win. So this envelope is sealed. I am going to open it up. So the Young CFO Award goes to Andrew Oye.
Yet another award on the night for Andrew. Let's give him a big hand clap. Looks like you're competing with Beyonce for a number of awards on one night. Well done, Andrew, as he comes, our young CFO of the year. Since 2021, he's been in this role, and he's been able to oversee a software transformation for the company, aligning finance to customer experience and reducing customer turnaround time from 7 to 4 days. See, he even knows where to pick the gift wrapper from. Well done. Congratulations to you, Andrew, and well done. A reminder for you, ladies and gentlemen, that we do have a raffle tonight, courtesy of Uganda Airlines, one of our big sponsors, so don't be in a rush to go away. You might be able to win a free, all-expense-paid flight to go to any of the destinations for Uganda Airlines. Though I should ask, is Felix Gift Luanga here from By Aviation by any chance? Oh, you're here. I need to see you, me as you. I want to get a chopper ride, so we shall, please don't leave. Yeah? By Aviation, if you ever need to fly around Uganda very quickly and need a chopper at short notice, those guys are really good. I've used them before, so they do an incredible job. I'll ask MTN Uganda to please come and help us hand out the Finance Transformation and Technology Award. Finance Transformation and Technology Award. Oh, we're doing, sorry, MTN is going to do, we'll do Leadership Award. Sorry. Leadership Award.
The nomination in the Leadership Award is a recognition that as CFOs, we can go beyond finance. So as I transitioned into the Executive Director role being added to my CFO role, it is a very big one where we have to step away and think business, step away from just the numbers and the reporting side and the number crunching to how do we influence and drive the businesses.
The nomination in the category of leadership, from the team, I work with a very young and vibrant team, and for them to consider me worthy of the nomination in the category of leadership is a positive affirmation of the work that I do at Outbox.
Category under leadership is very, very important for us and important to me in particular, because since 2009 we have not only transformed finance function, but we have been in leader in many various categories. For example, we have technology wise we have improved tremendously. Initially we used to have Tally as an ERP, which is not sustainable for long, so we implemented SAP program back in 2011 and continuously improved it. We started doing machine learning back in 2019, so it has helped also.
The CFO role has emerged and transitioned from the normal, what we used to call accountants, to chief accountants, to CFO, where you have value creation and business direction. We lead in strategy, we lead in execution of the strategy that we've chosen, and that transitions us to the next level of beyond just being the CFO.
So as a CFO of Steel and Tube since 2009, it's a tremendous track record we have maintained. In terms of revenue, back in 2009, we were having revenue of close to around $1 to $5 million. Today, we are sitting over $100 to $120 million in revenue.
To fellow CFOs and to ACCA in particular, we thank you for this opportunity. We thank you for the avenue to recognize and look at what different ways the CFOs can transition and add businesses and become business leaders.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sarah Bateta Okwi, MTN Mobile Money, CFO. The envelope is sealed. For the Leadership Award, CFO 2024, Nirav Patel.
Congratulations to Mr. Patel, our winner for the Leadership Award from Steel and Tube Industries, demonstrating contribution to the growth of the finance function at Steel and Tube. And Mr. Patel, your excitement is too evident. You're definitely a worthy winner tonight. We celebrate. This is how you should celebrate winning an award. This is... Look at that smile. I think you might need painkillers tonight for the chicks. Congratulations to our winner for the Leadership Award from Steel and Tube Industries. That's how it should be. Up next, we'll move on to our Finance Transformation and Technology Award, and I'll ask our PAFA President, Keynote, to please come and help us hand out the Finance Transformation and Technology Award.
The nomination for this award is very instrumental at a time such as this in my industry, where we are going through a lot of changes. Most of them are to do with processes and technology, and it means a lot for us as people leading the market to be able to participate and show that we are leading everybody else in terms of finance transformation and technology.
Finance is going through a lot of change, and transformation is very critical in this particular journey. Our ability to get digitized and be able to free our time so that we can connect with our partners, able to drive value within the organization is critical. Finance is one of those areas that requires a lot of collaboration, and the ability to transform it in terms of mindset change, the ability of the staff to focus on the client, ability for them to free up their time through digitization of the activities that they do, and be able to add value in terms of the conversations they have with stakeholders is critical.
The nomination for this year's CFO Awards in Finance Transformation and Technology category is exciting as a recognition as we start. We are on the transformation journey in DFCU, and specifically looking at our digital capabilities. So it is a recognition of how much that journey means to us, and how the strides are that we've made in that category.
Nomination in category finance transformation is been really vital for me, because finance is depend nowadays on technology and trust. Technology is backbone for most of the financial functions and the business segments. Like for example, recently it's been machine learning and AI has been taking place, which has been really, really vital for the business growth.
Over the years, the CFO role has evolved quite a lot. It has evolved from the time when we're required to simply provide the numbers, we're required to be the people that control and manage things like costs, to now being the people that literally drive the organization. And for you to drive the organization, you've got to connect with its external environment. You've got to connect with the customer, because everything we do is for the benefit of the customer as the critical stakeholders.
What motivated me to participate in the CFO Awards for 2024 was my role in a digitization project, a 5-year digitization project that I led starting in 2021 when I assumed my role as a CFO. And I thought that my participation therein gave me a lot of headway or ability for me to contribute and be the best in this category, but also share beyond the accolades, my experience on how a CFO can contribute in terms of growing the company and also being at the forefront in terms of technology advancement.
Looking forward to winning, looking forward to the different categories. It is a networking event, linking with other CFOs and sharing different challenges and solutions in order to grow our different businesses.
My parting shots is a great job for the CFO Awards. Let's get together, let's learn, and let's keep it going.
Oh, good evening, everybody. It's beautiful being up here, and it is so lovely to see the growth. I have been with ACCA in this journey of the CFO, and I started as one of the very first judges. So it's very nice to see what has happened up to now, and I thank ACCA and Deloitte so much for showcasing what accountants do and the value they create. I'm called Keto Kayemba. I am the president of PAFA. PAFA is the Pan-African Federation of Accountants. We have 56 members across Africa, and ACCA is an associate of PAFA. ICPAU is a member. So I'm extremely excited because PAFA is the voice of the profession in Africa, and it's lovely to see the value we create. Thank you. The envelope is sealed, as you can see, green, as you can see. It's quite difficult getting it open.
Deloitte wanted to make sure it was foolproof.
The award of the CFO for the Finance Transformation and Technology Award goes to Kate Kiza.
She was looking forward to winning, and she has won. Kate Kiza from DFCU Bank. Please give her a big hand clap as she comes to receive this great award, supporting DFC's finance team to transform from finance operations to a strategy-driven business, introducing new systems, and supporting the branch networks to operate optimally to deliver value to the whole organization. Congratulations, Kate. Enjoy your moment. You need that picture on your own. You have to go and show the kids that you have been working very hard, so you can threaten them when they get bad marks at school and say, "Can't you be like your mother?" You know how they used to threaten us? "Can't you be like me? You see the things I have won." Allow me to welcome our keynote speaker today, Mr. Magunda. If you'd please come and help us hand out the award for strategy execution as we prepare for the big one tonight. 1 award away to find out who our CFO of 2024 is. But first, our Strategy Execution Award.
The nomination of the Strategy and Execution Award is pleasing, but also it just goes to show how much work we have put in as Postbank to changing, serving our customers, and as a finance team and also as its leader, I'm glad to have played a very key role. In the last 4 years, we've innovated to serve our customers better. We've innovated to articulate the value proposition of Postbank. So this nomination is very important to us.
The nomination in the category of strategy execution is very critical for us as a leading financial services provider in this market. And the fact that finance is one of the co-pilots to the chief executive in terms of strategy execution. It's one of those critical aspects that helps the finance department and myself as an individual help drive the narrative, help drive the direction of the organization, and that's why it is very important.
The CFO role is now required to articulate the value the organization adds to society, to economy, to various stakeholders. So the CFO role has expanded, and to some it's now called a Chief Value Officer role. So a growth mindset is required to transition from a CFO role to a Chief Value Officer. So it's vital that pushing boundaries to do that and disrupting oneself becomes a top priority.
This year's CFO Awards enable me, put myself in line with other CFOs, look at what I'm doing differently in the organization, and also measure my abilities against the other players within this organization. Not just Stanbic as a global brand, but also the CFOs in other industries.
What am I looking forward to at this year's awards? First of all, a lot of fun with colleagues, and the tension of waiting, have you won, have you made it? But also, I think my experience from the awards the last time was that magical moment when you see winners called up in various categories and listening to their stories. Those stories drive a lot of inspiration at a personal level.
To thank ACCA for organizing these awards, the theme very much resonates with the changing environment in which we are operating, and to encourage everyone to keep their eyes on the environment in which we continue to operate, that is evolving quite rapidly, but also to look at themselves and try to see, are they improving on an annual basis? What has changed every year, and are they growing as individuals in order for us to continuously improve our organization?
All right, a very interesting subject here, strategy to execution. When I spoke this evening, I didn't know there was a category like this, but clearly, being a chief executive officer, you need a CFO who helps in this area. So excited that I'll be opening the green envelope. It is closed.
I wonder why it's not blue.
I know, right?
All right, Strategy to Execution Award 2024 goes to Mr. Ronald Makata.
A big win for Ronald Makata. Maybe the envelope should have been blue because it would have been appropriate. Congratulations to you, Ronald, doing an incredible job.
I was not on the nomination committee, Ronald. I didn't know about this.
Now might be an appropriate time to point out that Ronald and I grew up in the same estate in Bogolopi, and so him and I are bosom buddies. So this is how we roll. Grew up in a small estate called Cock Village on Lukuli Avenue. So I contributed to his success by, being his neighbor. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful night. It's now time to find out who the big winner of the night is. Before we do that, allow me to once again thank you to our big sponsors, to MTN, to Bank of Uganda, of course, to Uganda Airlines, to NCBA, Osela Technologies, to Uganda Printing and Publishing Corporation, to CEO East Africa Magazine. I saw Cham, I had dinner with him tonight. And also, of course, last but not least, to NBS Television and Next Media. And I think our CFO was actually here. Bowman, could you please stand for a moment? That's the CFO at Next Media, acting CFO at the moment. I need to make sure it gets recognized because it's almost payday. I need to be on the list somewhere at the top when we're being paid in a couple of weeks' time. So, also, we actually launched a wonderful campaign this morning called Dismiss Fake News. You might see that somewhere on your timelines. Please do retweet and share. We want to make sure that we are fighting fake news in this country, and so we want to be at the forefront of making sure that people just don't do silly things online. I'm sure you've seen all sorts of bad things being said about almost everyone in this country. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if I could invite our chief guest, the governor, Bank of Uganda. We removed deputy, you forgive me. We shall keep prophesying until it happens, to come and hand out the big award for tonight. As you can imagine, for this one, there is no video. We'll just have the nomination. If you'd please bring that and hand it over to our chief guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, this envelope is really, really sealed. To suggest that I think it came straight from the judges, it's not going anywhere. Now, as I was seated there, the ladies I was next to were saying that there are many ways of opening an envelope. So I'm wondering which way I'm going to use, but let me see what to do. I don't have fingernails, so when I was growing up in the village, this is how we used to do it.
This is a very good addition to the suspense.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the award for the CFO of the year goes to Kate Kiza.
Again, she was looking forward to winning, and she has our big winner of the night, ladies and gentlemen. DFCU CFO Kate Kiza. Give her a big, big, big hand clap as she comes. Can we give her a standing ovation? It's her moment to shine. The smile says it all. I think she might be a little emotional, and that's perfectly okay. So, thank you very much. As we take this photo, I should point out before we let the chief guest go that there's a couple of things that we need to do. One is for you to stay here with the chief guest, and for Uganda Airlines to come and hand you a pair of tickets as well. So This is a big win. You can go and enjoy your win.
You chose me, and I chose you. We're the chosen few. Oh, and we are the lucky people. You got me, and I got you. We're the chosen few. Talk about tomorrow.
Thank you very much. So before we leave, Mr. Governor, before you go away, I would like to give Kate an opportunity to come and do an acceptance speech. I'll ask Uganda Airlines not to go away as well, because we need to do a raffle draw as our last order of the business. But Kate, it's your moment. Please come shine.
Good evening, everybody. What a shock. I'm so out of words. Thank you very much. It's such an honor when you transition in your role as CFO and go beyond the limits and go beyond your shell. When I came here today, two of my friends who I met here said, "Hey, Kate, the shell has been broken." And I think this is real breaking the shell. Thank you very much. I'll take on the challenge for ACCA and for all the accountants, and especially the lady accountants. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, our big winner for the night, Kate. Congratulations to you, and you can go down for just a moment before continue. You can take a seat. I'll call you back in a moment. I want Uganda Airlines to announce what you've won, because we're also going to do our raffle draw. So I'll hand over to Uganda Airlines for just a minute.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Deo Nyanzi, and I'm representing Uganda Airlines. Welcome aboard. The winner, Kate Chiza, wins 2 business class tickets to any destination within our network. We've been talking growth. Ours has now grown from 2019, 5 destinations to now 16 destinations across Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. So she's very free to choose. You can go online and see which are those destinations. Just to name a few of them, in Asia we are going to Mumbai in India. We are going to Dubai in the UAE 5 times weekly. We are going across Africa, 14 destinations from Nigeria, Abuja, and Lagos. We are going to South Africa, Delhi, Johannesburg. We are going to Zambia and Zimbabwe, Harare and Lusaka. We are going to Nairobi and Mombasa in Kenya, and 3 destinations in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, Zanzibar, and Kilimanjaro. And very soon we will come to announce many big ones. You've been asking us about the big one in Europe. We will be making that announcement very soon about London and the other destinations that are waiting. Thank you so much.
It's a very important thing you mentioned these destinations, because 2 people here are going to be flying to one of those destinations. Can we have the balls come? Dorothy, please come. We're going to do 2 draws. One is for nominators. We'll start with the nominators. So this is for the nominators. Okay, so we'll have Uganda Airlines pick out a random name. For everyone who made a nomination, your name has been listed and is in here. And one of you is about to be rewarded for thinking about someone else. How cool is that? And, oof, he has picked it out. He will give me the name, and I will read it. And the person who is winning a free air ticket from Uganda Airlines is Michael Lukoda from Finn Church Aid. Michael Lukoda from Finn Church Aid. Is he here? I was going to say, if he's not here, we say, it is saying in my language that if you're not there, okay, you can come and pick it on his behalf. It's okay. Yeah, from Finn Church Aid, please do come and pick it up. And then I'll ask someone from Uganda Printing and Publishing Corporation to come and help us do the draw, the general draw. which is also coming up. So we'll take away this ball. Can we have the dummy tickets? Okay. And then I'll have someone from UPPC please come now and help us do the draw to find out who else tonight is going to be a big winner. Please send our congratulations to Mr. Lukoda and congratulations to you. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is Uganda Printing and Publishers Corporation, one of our sponsors. Thank you so much. I think first put that back in and then you move your hand around, move your hand around. In fact, close your eyes and then put your hand in there. Don't pick yourself. And then, and the big winner. You see, if it's CPPC, we can't accept it. We'll be seen as Potea. So you will give me that one. She picked UPPC. Yeah, no. Also, no, it can't be PPC. And the winner is Patricia Nagawa, NCBA. Today is your day. Congratulations to you. Please do come. God decided today was your day. Please come and receive a ticket from Uganda Airlines as well. And as they do, can I ask all our winners to please come with your plaque so we can do one photo with our chief guest tonight. Please do come quickly. Patricia, congratulations to you. So where are you going to go? Where are you thinking about going? Have you... Johannesburg. That's not a bad choice, actually. So congratulations to you. We will sort out all the logistics, and a big thank you to Uganda Airlines as well. If I can kindly ask all our winners to come to the platform with your plaques, and let's do a group picture with our chief guest together with our partners with ACCA and Deloitte as we celebrate our awards tonight. Can we have all the winners please come to the stage? Please come with your awards, and let's do a quick group picture with our chief guest. Otherwise, on behalf of ACCA and Deloitte, I want to say a big thank you to you for being a part of the CFO Awards tonight. I know it's been a long night, and I want to say thank you so much. Let's have our winners quickly. We really need to take note of this picture, so please do come. Where's our big winner? Please, Disenkamba Kate, she needs to come quickly. Please let her come, and the rest of our winners as well, to take a picture with our chief guest, our keynote speaker, and of course, the country managing partner for Deloitte and country manager for ACCA as well. I think I'm missing one. Oh, they're here. We have some multiple winners as well tonight. You'll depend on the cameraman to tell you what to do. If we can move just a little bit to the right. So we're going to depend on the camera crew to guide us on how to stand. So let's try and be a bit tighter together so we can take a group picture together. You can just hold on a moment. Where is Ivuga band? Ivuga, if you could please come. It's your moment to take it away so we can celebrate our winners. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, our big winners of the night. And as always, a pleasure being with you at the CFO Awards. We want to thank you so much. And a big thank you to our keynote speaker and our chief guest for being a part of the evening today. And of course, a big congratulations to all our big winners tonight. Well done to you. I think we need the picture with the judges as well. Chala Samanda and Lillian and Sanjay, if you would please come. Let's do a picture with the judges as well. We'll do a picture with the winners and the judges. These pictures are really important, so we must make sure we get them properly. So. I think you guys can come a bit closer. Let's have you come a bit closer. Andrew, you need to show us the words properly. Yeah. Can I also have Mr. Sally and Charlotte come and join the group for a final picture as well? Ivuga? Can we do a crazy shot? I know you guys are serious financial people. Can you do one crazy shot for our cameras just to show celebration? You know, show like extreme teeth or something. I don't know. Yeah. These accountants don't know how to celebrate. But if Ivuga is going to help you guys start the party, that's more like it. So one last time, a big hand clap, ladies and gentlemen, for our big winners tonight. They've done really well. And a big thank you to Charlotte and Deloitte and the team, to Dorothy and to Jackie, who've done an incredible job as always. You guys are awesome. Always a delight to work with you all. And we'll hand over now to Ivuga Band to take it away. Enjoy the rest of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night.
Come on.